Hello, hello, my dear friends, you've reached Elena's bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. She'll help improve your fitness, but there's also so much more. 'Cause here are just a few things that this channel has in store. There's bar and there's Pilates and there's belly dancing too. And many styles of yoga, so I'm sure there's one for you. Then watch her practice pianist string from right within her home. She's in such big condition, she'll outrun the metronome. Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre. They're the best place on the internet, the very best by far. It's not just the piano, but the ukulele too. The guitar and violin are even more that she can do. She does so many different things, it's hard not to lose track. I nearly didn't mention that she posts on her Substack. Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. Yet controversial topics may be brought up for discussion, but try not to provoke her or she'll swear at you in Russian. And sometimes certain topics can make quite a big impression. So remember, you take part at your own risk and your discretion. Yeah, Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. You might even meet Elena if you're quite a loyal fan. She's got a fixed male cat, but she's so desperate for a man. We've really got it all, then you couldn't ask for more. So sit right back and watch Elena shave a 3 or 4. Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre. The best place on the internet, the very best by far.
Hello, hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to elenasbarre and the resurgence of sanity. How are you doing, guys, today?
All right, go Red Raiders.
Ready? Awesome. Okay. Well, today we have an interesting topic, guys. We always have something interesting to talk about, but this topic was suggested by Steve. So, Steve, why don't
What did you do? Mute yourself?
oh, my computer did it to me today.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Blame it on some external influence.
Of course, as always. Don't you know it's female nature to blame things on something or
Oh, yeah.
somebody
I've noticed. I've noticed that.
Doesn't matter how much accountability or humility women have, they will find a way to blame it on somebody else, but themselves.
Today, it's somewhat a follow-up to our Wednesday evening or Wednesday night stream on the resurgence of sanity. That one was about the trad con and trying to get men to come back in and keep things going, and men are not having it for the most part. So the fact that it's not winning, or the people who want men to participate are not winning, but everybody's talking about how the men have withdrawn from marriage, from society, from being productive, and this is supposed to be a bad thing. No, it's a good thing.
I agree.
Men are winning. They are okay. We call this a battle, and by men not participating, they're causing society to change and lament and try and coerce them back. It's still not working. So today we're going to review a video from the Psycrypt, Psycrypt, Psycrypt channel.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he puts out some good stuff. A lot of research, a lot of historical stuff. I think they're a similar format every time. I'm thinking he's using AI to create these, but nevertheless, the information is good. So we're going to We're going to play the video. It's 30 minutes. We might not get through the whole thing, but you know, you can go look at his stuff. He puts out a video a couple times a week, and I enjoy listening to him.
Yeah, I like to listen to him too sometimes after you share the videos with us. I just don't remember I watched that one because of the holidays. So, by the way, anyone joining us late here, tell us what you think about the topics. We will occasionally bring up your comments, and remember to please like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel a lot. And yeah, let's dive into it, Steve. I'm going to edit to stage, and we can start watching it. You can see it, right, guys?
Yep.
Awesome.
What if the most rational, self-preserving choice a modern man can make is voluntary isolation? Within the next minutes, we will prove that a silent exodus is underway, not a loud protest, but a quiet, mass withdrawal of men from the arena of romantic connection with modern women. The proof lies not in anger, but in cold data: plummeting marriage rates, evaporating birth rates, and a global happiness gap that shows single men are now consistently reporting higher well-being than their married counterparts for the first time in recorded history. By the end of this series, you will see this not as a tragedy, but as a historic recalibration, a painful, necessary pruning for a future we cannot yet see.
Before we begin, if you're serious about personal growth, not just the comforting lies, but the brutal, unvarnished truth, then you'll find real value in my ebook, The Black Book of Human Nature. It's a practical manual that breaks down the suppressed truths of human behavior, giving you the tools to finally understand yourself and the world more deeply. The link is in the pinned comment.
The image is seared into the cultural memory. The lone man at the edge of the party, glass in hand, watching the dance of social and romantic connection from a distance. We've been told he is lonely, pitiable, a failure in the Darwinian marketplace of desire. But what if we have the story entirely backward? What if he is not on the sidelines out of defeat, but by deliberate, calculated choice? What if, in his silence, he is not suffering a poverty of connection, but executing a wealth of preservation? This is not a theory of resentment. It is an autopsy of a social contract that has quietly dissolved, leaving millions of men looking at the terms of modern love and partnership, doing the math, and finding the sum profoundly negative. They are not choosing bitterness, they are choosing sovereignty, even if that sovereignty wears the mask of loneliness. Let us begin with a story that is not ancient history, but one unfolding in 1,000 anonymous apartments at this very moment. Picture David, 28, a software engineer in Austin. His life is a curated algorithm of efficiency: a high salary, a sleek, minimalist apartment, a Peloton, a premium subscription to a meal kit service. His dating app profiles are optimized: professional photos, witty prompts, a careful calibration of ambition and approachability. For 3 years, he played the game. He endured the ghosting after seemingly perfect dates. He absorbed the quiet contempt when he admitted his love for video games or his desire for a family one day. He paid for dinners that concluded with a lecture on his unconscious microaggressions. He listened to a woman he adored explain with therapeutic jargon that she needed to find herself and thus could not be burdened by a label. One evening, after another such conscious uncoupling, he sat in his silent, spotless apartment. The expected emotion was sadness, but it didn't come. Instead, a profound, unsettling calm washed over him. He deleted the apps, not in rage, but with the quiet finality of closing a bad business deal. He redirected his energy. He bought a piano. He deepened his friendships with a small circle of male friends. He immersed himself in mastering Japanese. His friends and family ask with concerned whispers, "Are you lonely?" He struggles to explain the sensation. It is not the absence of joy, but the absence of a specific grinding anxiety he had come to accept as normal. He traded the roller coaster of conditional validation for the steady hum of self-directed peace. David is not an incel. He is not a misogynist. He is a rational actor in an irrational market. And his story is the template for a generation. This is not an anecdote. It is a data tsunami. Let's anchor this in the cold, hard bedrock of research. According to a seminal study by the Pew Research Center in 2022, a staggering 63% of men under 30 described themselves as single, compared to 34% of women in the same age bracket. This is not a marginal gap, it is a chasm. The General Social Survey, a gold standard sociological data set running for decades, reveals a bombshell. Since roughly 2010, the reported happiness of single men has steadily risen, now statistically surpassing the reported happiness of married men. For all of human history, marriage was the cornerstone of males' social success, stability, and well-being. That cornerstone has now cracked. Meanwhile, the birth rate in the developed world has not merely declined, it has fallen off a cliff, reaching levels demographers describe as jaw-dropping and indicative of a civilizational shift, not a blip. These numbers are not the result of a male strike. They are the output of a complex equation where the variables have been fundamentally altered. To understand this
Wait a minute.
shift, we must travel
Wait a
back to a
minute.
moment when the rules were clear,
Oops,
even
one
if they
second,
were
one
brutal.
second. Ah.
You can't pause it? Okay.
Mhm.
It's not the result of a male strike. Okay. There's complex things behind the resulting male strike, but it still ends up in a male strike.
Yeah, I would agree. It's not. It's really not a simple thing to solve. There are so many factors here. And I think what he's also saying is it's just a rational decision based on what's going on. It's not a conscious decision. I'm going on strike. It's just, oh, this is the logical thing for me to do.
Yeah, it's not that they want to do it. What other options do they have? Do they have to compromise their frame in pursuit of being in the family and getting
Uh,
some social validation for it? Or
if you make any other decisions in your life, right? Like business decisions, financial decisions, even what school you're going to go to, you people generally are emotions are always involved, but not to the extreme as uh, people have typically done in marriage, and the naivety of what goes on in marriage and how women act has kind of been eroded. And then there's real risks, and nobody would enter into a business or anything with the risks that modern marriage presents. So therefore, it's a rational decision for men saying, "Hey, I'm just not going to bother." It's not that necessarily that they don't like women in general. It's just like, hey, this is not a good rational decision. The good
Let
expected
me
outcome.
let me illustrate this with a scenario. So I live up in North Dakota, some of the richest farmland in the world. Very productive here, very good farmland. But prices are high. About 40 years ago, I know from because I study history a little bit. The farmland in Zimbabwe, no, it was Rhodesia then, very
That's better.
extremely productive. And it's not really utilized all that well today. And I bet you could go buy farmland in Zimbabwe that is excellent and has the
Yeah,
potential of great of producing a great amount, and you could make a lot of money.
there's a
What's
problem,
the problem?
Steve.
Oh, what's the problem, Nick?
Your pigment.
No, that's not the problem. The problem is
you might not survive.
the problem is rule of law. So because of societal things and the name changing from Rhodesia to Zimbabwe and a different
Booga.
people being in charge, they decided, oh, yeah, that farmland that's been in your family for over 100 years, we're going to take that and we're going to redistribute that. And also, there are hooligans that run around the country. Yeah, you know, you could have a bad day and end up dead, tortured and dead. Well, we're not going to do anything about that. So the farmland is the farmland. Trust me, bro. Just go buy farmland in Zimbabwe. No one's going to make that decision because the rule of law, it's a bad outcome, high risk. Well, marriage is an investment. So you got to evaluate, oh, yes, the woman, just like you'd evaluate the land in Zimbabwe. But you also have to evaluate the conditions, the rule of law. Will the rule of law protect you as a man if you get married today? Will the rule of law protect you as a man if you buy farmland in Zimbabwe? No.
Well, and also what I like to ask women when they say that I'm not an expense, I'm an investment. If you're an investment, what's your rate of return?
It's like zero rate of return, but a high risk that you lose everything you invest.
Yeah, but you have to acknowledge also the risks, right? With all of this investment, like you can lose all of your money. It's like getting into a bad business deal for men. You will lose all of your money. The rate of return is questionable. There is no dowry that is coming from her, so she doesn't have any skin in the game there. And usually when I ask women about dowry, they don't respond. They ignore that question.
They don't even understand what dowry means.
Well, I did make a couple of videos about dowry, and then they can always watch This Is Shah because he talks about dowry a lot. And yeah, the financial contribution, and then sometimes I even explain what dowry is. And then there are a bunch of simps who jump in to defend the My Lady's honor and say, women don't need no dowry. If you want a dowry, you are not a good man. You are a gold digger if you expect her to have dowry. But if she doesn't have dowry, doesn't it make her a gold digger? Because she expects a high quality, high value man there.
She's been probably run through multiple times, many times.
Exactly.
She may not be a gold digger. She's just pragmatic. That makes sense to marry the man with the most resources. Doesn't it make sense that if that man with the most resources no longer meets your needs or you're not happy, to abandon that and move on? Makes perfect sense.
From a female standpoint, I understand what they are trying to do. It just doesn't work long term because the men that these women want, they don't want a poor broken guy who lives at mom's basement, right? They always say that, oh, man is supposed to provide. Even the women on the right, the traditional, your trad wives, your tradcon women, they say, a man is supposed to provide. We want a strong man who can provide for his family. Okay, if you call yourself a traditional, and I'm trying to make a reference to your Wednesday's live stream where it's corn for them, they're corn artists, they're not actually traditional. Because if they were traditional, then they wouldn't bother, they wouldn't be against dowry. Dowry is a traditional concept. What's wrong with it?
They want their cake and eat it too, right? Have their cake and eat. And
No,
who's
they
going to stop them? They'll find a simp. They think they'll find a sucker.
Hey, do not ever expect a woman to understand something that she has not experienced or seen. She has no experience of dowry. She's never seen it done. She doesn't understand the concept. She's not going to go learn about something that's not part of her world. So how do you expect her to even to get the implications of the lack of dowry and that she has to bring something? It's just nowhere in our society. She's got no clue. Don't expect her to understand something that's completely out of her experience.
Well, they call themselves traditional. This is why I 100% agree with you guys when you were talking about con. They're con artists. They are not traditional. There is nothing traditional about them. Because if they were interested in how traditionally society was functioning, they would be looking into history. They would be exploring dowry. They would be exploring patriarchy, right? They would be pro all of those things. They would be pro hierarchy. They're not traditional. It's just a gift for them to get the princess treatment that they believe they deserve. And some of them are not even hiding it. They are telling you, gentlemen, here, I want a man to provide for me. I want him to do all of those things. Then you ask her, what's your dowry? And she's gone.
It's technically, it's not a grift, because a grift is a conscious, intentional thing. They're not conscious or
Okay, Steve, your
doing
sound.
anything
Hold on, Steve, 1 second. We need to fix your sound because sometimes it's really loud, sometimes it's really, and I'm not a tech savvy person here.
Maybe my settings changed. Let me go look.
Yeah, because sometimes you are cutting out and it's hard to hear you. Sometimes you are really loud. I'm sorry. I didn't figure it out before the live stream. You sounded all right. It seemed all right.
Okay, testing. Now, how to
Okay, you need to say something.
Okay, does it sound better now?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I turned it up a little bit.
No, maybe turn it down because sometimes it gets really loud too. Nick,
Well,
are you having
before.
I'm fine.
Are you having
I'm
any
good.
trouble hearing him? Oh, I'm just wondering
Yeah.
if it's just
Every
me.
once in a while. Every once in a while.
I
Not all the time.
I upgraded to Windows 11, and my choices, it was coming through on my earbud and not my Yeti microphone here, so it should be
Oh.
better now.
Okay. Well, let's let it run for a while to see how it works.
Okay.
Guys, in the chat, tell us if you can hear Steve well. Okay. Give us some feedback, please. Yeah. Oh, Toxicus is here. Good morning. Yeah, great to see you. Yeah. I can hear you all. Okay. Okay. Tacticus says he can hear us. Thank you, Tacticus. Okay, Steve, I think we are good. We are good to go.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes. So shall we keep watching the video?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, feel free to stop it whenever you want, guys.
Consider the fate of a young man in a 19th century Prussian village. His path was preordained. Inherit a plot of land, master a trade, build a physical structure to house a family, and prove his capability as a provider. His value was extrinsic, rooted in utility and social function. The woman's choice was circumscribed by necessity and community. This was not a romantic idyll. It was a brutal, pragmatic contract. Fast forward to the post-World War II boom. The greatest generation man traded the farm for the factory floor or the corporate office. His value was still extrinsic. The paycheck, the house in the suburbs, the car.
The contract remained, though draped in the new language of consumer romance. His loneliness was not an option. It was a social and economic death sentence. The community, the church, the workplace, all were structured to funnel him into partnership. Now, let's inject a real, shocking historical case study that illuminates the flip side of this forced connection: the Boston marriages of the late 19th and 20th centuries. These were long-term, monogamous, domestic partnerships between two unmarried women, often highly educated academics, writers, and social reformers. Women like the novelist Sarah Orne Jewett and her partner Annie Adams Fields. Society had no box for them. To the outside world, they were spinsters, sharing a home for convenience. In reality, they had consciously and deliberately opted out of the heterosexual marriage market. They found in each other the intellectual companionship, emotional support, and shared life purpose that the men of their era, trained only for provision, often could not offer. They chose a life that looked like loneliness to the outside world, but was in fact a deep, fulfilling partnership on their own terms. They were early examples of a group finding the prevailing social contract wanting and writing their own. Today's men choosing solitude are the dark reflection of this, individuals finding the modern romantic contract untenable and choosing, for now, to write nothing at all, to hold the space blank. The dismantling of the old extrinsic model began with the best of intentions: liberation. The sexual revolution, second wave feminism, and the pill dismantled the economic and biological imperative for women to marry. This was a moral and social good of historic proportions. But every revolution has unintended aftershocks. The old male roadmap to value, provider, protector, was publicly torched. Yet no clear new, universally accepted roadmap was issued to replace it. Should a man be a sensitive, emotional caretaker, a hyper-competitive alpha, a politically aligned activist, a wellness-focused minimalist? The signals are contradictory and paralyzing. A 2018 study published in the Journal of Counseling Psychology found that modern men report unprecedented levels of role confusion, linked directly to anxiety and depression. They're told to be vulnerable, yet see vulnerability weaponized in social conflicts. They are told to be ambitious, yet are vilified for the toxic masculinity of competitive drive. They are told to step up, but are unsure what platform they're allowed to stand on. Enter the digital marketplace, dating apps. This is where the abstract confusion becomes a visceral, daily humiliation. Researchers from Stanford and Harvard have dissected the swipe economy and found it operates on a brutal, winner-take-most dynamic. For the bottom 80% of men in terms of attractiveness, as judged by the algorithmic herd, the experience is one of profound invisibility. We're not talking about rejection. Rejection requires participation. This is nullification. Imagine a man, let's call him Alex, spending weeks crafting a profile, carefully selecting photos, laboring over a bio. He swipes right on hundreds of women who align with his stated values and interests. The result? A digital silence so absolute it calls his entire being into question. The data shows the median male user receives likes and matches at a rate exponentially lower than the median female user. This isn't about being bad with women. It's about being rendered a non-entity by a system that commodifies attention. The psychologist B.F. Skinner demonstrated through operant conditioning that the most effective way to crush a subject's motivation is not through consistent punishment, but through random, intermittent reinforcement. This is precisely the slot machine logic of the modern dating app for the average man. After thousands of swipes with no reward, a single meaningless match becomes a dopamine explosion, hooking him back into the cycle of hope and despair. The rational brain eventually recognizes this as a form of psychological self-harm. Withdrawal is the only sane response. But this isn't just about the sexually marginalized.
Okay, guys, I want to stop it here. I definitely see on social media there are more men who are trying to compete with women to get more attention, likes. So what they do is they basically like they try to force men to behave like women so that men are looking for the dopamine hit, the attention, just like women are looking on social media.
A bit. Yeah, I guess so. Seems like they're yeah. So they. I hear that they get one. They don't get any responses, and they get one response, and it's like a enough just to bring them back in, keep
Yeah,
going.
to
It
keep
kind of
going.
reminds me. It reminds me of husbands whose wives don't put out.
Yeah, and then
A
she
lot of
puts
times
out
they'll dangle
one.
just enough to try
Mhm.
to keep him satisfied, but not really. Just enough so he doesn't leave, or just enough so she doesn't really get called out too bad.
Well, and also notice that the women, by saying to men that, oh man, you are kings, you are awesome, you are great, they are giving men this just enough validation so that men get back into the plantation, they wife up this horse, and then they forget
It's not
about the
working,
law. They
but
forget
it's not.
about, but the intention that women have, why are they
Yeah.
doing it, why are they praising all of a sudden, as men started to check out, they went their own way, or they're in the black pill, right? They don't want to deal with women. These are the guys who are setting up the standards for women, actually. Not even the guys who consider women under certain conditions for marriage. No, the majority of men who choose not to deal with women, they're the ones who are setting up the rules for women. And then women are like, okay, we need to come up with some way of getting the men that we want, so let's just gaslight them a little bit. Let's just love bomb them a little bit, just enough to get them back so that they still consider us. Women are in a negotiating phase.
Women are clueless about what the problem is. They're lamenting about all the men. No, that's what they say. No, they are complaining about the top 10%. The only guys that they see, the rest are non persons. So they're lamenting about those men not being the men they want. Now, why don't I participate in online dating? Because I would have to put a profile out there. It would be all about my picture, my physical persona.
Mhm.
There's more handsome guys out there. I'm not ugly, but I'm older. So yeah, you're gonna pick me strictly on a visual thing, or what my profile says. No, I my personality has. If anything happens, it's going to be because of my personality,
And
my
it's
wit, and I'm looking for an intelligent woman, not a woman out there shopping for the most financially successful, handsome man, which is all you're going to get on the dating profiles. So count me out.
yeah, and then they say this is the gift for men, here, man up and do better, so that you can outcompete all of those other men with cool pictures on social media, so that you can put a higher income number on that profile that she considers, like this
Nope.
desire
I'm
to.
out.
I know, right? It's like, if I were a man, I wouldn't want to deal with this, even. um
Well, I still deal with it, even though I want to be left alone. I
I
still have to deal with it.
Well,
Not
yeah, to some
online.
extent, but like, you wouldn't be actively pursuing women on
No.
dating apps to begin with, because it's just a waste of time, it's a waste of energy and resources.
And Tacticus outlines the problem. You know what? You see me? Well, yeah, maybe. But you know what? There's someone better out there than Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a delusion of opportunity. Yeah, is he the best I can do? Undoubtedly, No, there is someone better out there. Are you going to achieve that? Probably not. But
Okay,
a
so
possibility exists. So why would you
Steve,
settle when the possibility of something much better is still out there?
Female chick
so Steve,
logic,
there,
yeah, shit logic.
Steve, there's a meme that goes around in some of the red pill communities. It's Lois Lane in bed next to Superman, and she's wondering, I wonder if I could do better.
Yeah, true. So true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like
mean, you
this
could
Oh,
be freaking Superman, and they'll still wonder, I wonder if I can do better.
these unrestrained delusions that women have. Women are delusional by nature, okay? But the fact that their delusions are being supported and facilitated and encouraged by all of those white knights on social media and our legal system also. So if one man doesn't satisfy you, here you go, you get the paycheck from this guy who doesn't uh, satisfy you, and go find another one, right?
so is the glass half full or half empty? Meaning, okay, a man doesn't really have a, he hasn't thought out a checklist, but he finds a woman, they get along good. Yeah, there's a couple irritating things, and he kind of does a, not a real analytical assessment, but he says, damn, yeah, she's pretty good. She's got 80% of what I want. So he says, yay, I get 80%. That's pretty damn good. I think this will work. For the woman, let's say this man, yeah, he's got 80% of what she wants. And she goes, damn, that 20%. Why the hell should I settle for 80% what I want when I could have 100%? Because I deserve 100%. So at the 80% level, the man is cheering because, yeah, I got 80% what I wanted. And the woman is lamenting, oh, damn, I had to settle for 80%.
Yeah. 80% is the best you ever are going to get, ladies. Deal with it. Suck it up and deal with it. It's the best deal you have. Your current husband is the best deal you are ever going to have.
Probably not going to be a millionaire, and he probably won't be Tom Brady. I'm sorry.
Doesn't matter. Look, yeah, you chose that man. You say the vows. Stay with this man. I don't care. You like him, you don't like him. There are other options out there. Maybe who cares? You are still in a committed relationship with that man. Okay, let's keep watching the video, guys.
This is about the high value output. Remember David, our software engineer? He has options. His withdrawal is more philosophically interesting. For him, the cost-benefit analysis has shifted. The historical benefits of partnership, regular physical indulgence, domestic comfort, social status, children, are now either available a la carte, socially devalued, or come with a price tag he is unwilling to pay. And what about physical intimacy? The accessibility of online videos
Yeah.
and the normalization of casual encounters
One
have,
second.
for some,
Yep. Oh, did somebody want me to stop this one? Okay, I'll keep running with it. I heard some.
decoupled it from commitment. Domestic comfort? He can outsource cooking, meal kits, cleaning, apps, and conversation, podcasts, online forums. Social status? In many progressive urban centers, being a traditional husband and father can be a neutral or even negative social marker, seen as bland or regressive. Children? The legal and financial risks of divorce, where he faces a high probability of losing custody and a significant portion of his assets, make it look less like a dream and more like a leveraged buyout with catastrophic downside risk. A 2020 analysis of family court outcomes in several U.S. states still showed mothers being awarded primary custody in approximately 80 to 90% of cases, even when fathers sought it. When men run the numbers, the ledger of modern marriage often flashes red. So they retreat. But this retreat is not into a basement of bitterness. It is into what the Japanese sociologists, observing a similar trend a decade earlier, termed the cave of the solitary bliss. They invest in hyper-competence. They build impeccable bodies in the gym, a domain of clear, measurable progress, where effort directly correlates to result, a stark contrast to the opaque, shifting rules of dating. They pour themselves into careers, crypto, creative pursuits, or deep dive hobbies like philosophy, history, or mastering a craft. They are building what the ancient Stoics called an inner citadel. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, ruling an empire while weathering profound personal loss, wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This is the mantra of the modern opt-out man. He is turning his energy inward because the external world of romantic connection has become a chaotic,
Right.
high-stakes casino with rigged odds. The
See,
emotion
Mhm.
Elaine, this is exactly, we did an episode on Red Pill China. This is exactly what the men in China are doing. They can't control anything. So what are they doing? They're going fishing. They're focusing on themselves. You know, they're not focusing on women because the women will divorce them. You know, if they lose their job, they might not ever have a chance for that career again. Within 6 months to a year, they're probably divorced and kids are gone. So the guys, what are they doing? They just say, nope, I'm just going to do my work and then I'm going to go fishing. I'm going to work on myself and I'm going to enjoy life.
Sure.
Yeah.
And we're the internet is out there. We're getting all the data now. Guys are sharing their stories. So a decent man, smart, whatever, successful. Okay, businesses change. They close the business for whatever reason. Maybe ship the production to China. He loses his job. All of a sudden, he's not fulfilling his role, and she becomes dissatisfied and divorces him. It might take him 6 months to find another job, or he might have to change careers. So instead of making, 120 grand, I might have to find some other job. Now he's only making 80 grand. Oh, that's not what she signed up for. So she's out of there. So, okay, guys are saying, yeah, the risk of the performance anxiety and the risk of divorce and losing everything is just too large. So if a man's making 120 as a single man, damn, that's a lot of money. If he loses his job, he's out of work for 6 months, he's probably got enough saved up. Okay, fine. He'll find another job making 80. I tell you what, a single man making 80 grand, he still has way more money than he knows what to do with, as long as it's not going to alimony or child support. Would
Mm.
you agree, Nick?
Oh, so you're describing me now. Okay.
Well, I mean, you're doing okay financially, except most of your money is taken from you before you. I
Yep.
mean, just imagine the life you could have if you got to keep and have the money that you earn.
Yeah, women and children, they are expensive. And then what do men get?
Oh
They
no,
don't.
okay. Women and children are expensive. Fine, I can deal with that. Not that's a trivial thing.
Mhm.
It's that divorced women and children not in your custody are devastatingly expensive. That's when men complain. It's not paying the price while they're it's not doing the work while they're there.
Yeah.
Men will bear immense burden when the wife is in the home, the children are in the home, even if she's a nagging bitch and he's not
Yep.
getting any sex, he will still stay and he will still do his duty and provide. External factors may put that at risk at times, but he'll figure it out within a few
I
months.
did. I figured it out. I did it. But no, it's now when they take your kids and you barely see them, they get to raise them. You don't have a say in how they're raised, but you're supposed to pay for everything. How about you go take a fucking
Well, they treat you like slaves, you know. So
Yes,
you,
it
but
is
even in
enslavement to me.
marriage, okay, even in marriage, I look at all of these trad women, their list of demands, and I'm going to give you an example. Okay, let's just not go too far here. I did take a couple of pictures, guys. I'm not going to bring them up just not to give these chicks clout, but on Twitter, women saying their standards. Well, first of all, they mention how awesome they are usually, and then the standards for men. Okay, so my standards for 2026, for 2026, sorry. Here, he must have here 5.5 feet or above. Actually funny. No mental personal disorders. Doesn't get drunk. Crypto is an investment, not his business. IG following doesn't look like he owns nail salon. She's very specific. Wouldn't lose in a fight. This is the man that she's looking for. Pays for
Sometimes you lose. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, I know. Well, but she says pays for everything. Okay. And a virgin.
Okay.
You see one? Probably not.
Oh man. Oh shit. I got hair. It's a little bit thin on top. It's kind of gray. I'm kind of an old guy. I probably would lose at a fight. I guess I'm out of luck, right?
Yes, you are, Steve. You failed. You failed.
Well, in a lot of these places, it tends to be a certain way where people of a certain color tend to jump other people, but that's losing the fight.
Do you want to see another girl's example of ideal man? Here.
Oh, sure.
Okay. He doesn't smoke, which I think you guys, you smoke, right? So
I
you
do.
fail,
Yeah.
you fail there. I saw Nick does smoke occasionally. So yeah, okay.
Yep.
Both of
Nick
you.
Nick dips mostly.
A little bit, yeah. Okay, but
A couple
okay.
cigars. Then you
Doesn't
smoke,
smoke.
but,
Doesn't smoke. Okay. He doesn't drink. He doesn't have a girlfriend. So they don't want to share. I mean, they don't want to be the play.
That's bullshit. A woman will move in on a man with a girlfriend if she thinks she can steal him
I know, right?
and she's better. You know what? Then he should be exclusive. But no.
Okay, watch this. He doesn't party. Serious beta provider man, huh? No party. He's
he gets
rich.
to go out on girl trips.
He's rich. He has to be rich.
Mhm.
And he stays at home. So she wants a man who is rich and he stays at home to give her all of
A
the
partridge and a pear tree.
all of the emotional support that she desires, right? And he doesn't bet, so he's not a gambler. Where
he
can
has
I
no life.
find? Where can I find a man like this for marriage? Where can I
Okay.
find a man like this for marriage? She asks.
What is rich? How
Well,
much
I
money?
guess he can pay for all of her bills.
No,
There
no,
was
no.
another
How
girl
much?
who was saying.
How much net assets do I need to have to be rich? 100,000, 500,000, a million. Let's say, okay, oh, he's got to have $1 million. Okay, great. That's actually doable. So he bought some crypto 2 years ago. It's still in. So he's got, you know, $400,000 in crypto.
Mhm.
And he's got a car, maybe has a house, got a couple of 100,000 here. Maybe he bought some silver way back in the day, and that's gone up. And between and then maybe there's an inheritance coming from his father. He might have a couple of 100,000 there. Yeah, $1 million, right? Is it liquid? Not really. It could be. But the reason he has it is because he didn't spend it.
Well, they don't
So she
go
wants
that
the
far.
rich
They want, okay,
to
they want,
use it, and then
yeah.
if he uses it to support her, he will no longer be rich.
Well, they don't connect the two dots. I understand that, but like these chicks, they want a generous man. So they want a wealthy man, and then they want a generous man who is investing into them. They want him to give them his resources. Mm-hmm.
So if I pay for a woman to go get her nails done, she's going to consider that investing in her.
Yeah.
What's my rate of return?
This is my question to these women who say, I'm an investment. You're supposed to spend all of that money on me, but then what's your rate of return, ladies? How are your nails or your boobs? Okay, boobs maybe, okay, fine. If he has sex with you and he enjoys your teeth, fine, whatever. But like nails, your artificial eyelashes, all of that stuff. How much rate of return is there? I just don't see value in it, honestly. All of these cosmetics, pounds of cosmetics that you put on yourself, like, what's your rate of return there? So that you can go around on social media, what they want is they want that man to pay for all of their bills, nails, you name it, cosmetics, dresses, all of that stuff, so that they can go around on social media for random simps who will validate and boost their ego. And then they say, well, see, those men, they love me. Those men, they praise me. So you're supposed to fund me, while I go around here on social media. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
fund you
it's
occasionally
not.
once in a while to keep you on the porch so that you keep funding, to shut you up. You forget about the custody, forget about the laws. I'll give you that bone, okay? But then I still want to be a public whore as well.
Well, most of them are probably not physically whoring around. Some
Well,
are, certainly.
Steve,
But what they're doing is they are attention whoring.
well, this is what I
So
mean.
you pay all that stuff. Then she goes out and she's competing against all the women, and she gets all the simps to comment, oh, you're so beautiful.
Mhm.
Oh, blah, blah, blah. You know what? How, if I'm paying for that, what's the return to me? No, she's getting her validation elsewhere. And
Elsewhere,
I'm paying,
yeah.
I'm footing the bill. Oh, help
Exactly,
me
you're
out.
funding all of that. You are paying for her to be a public whore, and I don't mean it like quite literally. So she would reveal her teeth and ass on social media. Some women do. You'll be surprised. So many women who are married women dress like public whores on social media. Put the bikini pictures on social media. Why? You are married. Aren't you supposed to be loyal to your husband? How do you show your loyalty to your husband? By revealing your, I get it, some women are gorgeous, they have amazing bodies out there, but your husband is paying for you. He's funding your lifestyle so that you keep hoeing around on social media to get more attention from random strangers on the internet. This is how you repay your husband. This is your rate of return, ladies. Okay, here is another woman for you. I'm 25 years old. No boyfriend, no kids, no house, no savings. I was just about to ask what's your dowry. Left law school for crypto. Lost all my money in crypto. And then she says 5 feet 3 height and 61 kilograms. Okay, she must be a European chick of some kind. Oh, she's antisocial. Lives with
Well,
her parents.
who's going to be Captain Save-A-Ho?
Yeah, right. And then she says, be honest. Is it over for me? Yes, lady, it is. I'm honest here. You're done.
We might find a sim.
Well, but like the man, she doesn't want a simp. Like the desire that all women have is 1% of world male population. He must be rich, he must be that, he must provide. Is it over? Guys, she doesn't mean is it over for all men. Yes, she might find a simp. She doesn't want a simp. What she's asking is it over for me? Did I lose all of my chances with the high value men that I believe I deserve? This is what she's really asking.
No, she didn't lose her chances. She never had those chances. You can't lose what you never had.
True.
So she's deluding herself that she ever had a chance with those guys. Most women don't. Most women do not have a chance for those Prince Charming type men. You know what? They should have settled for an average man. But the men that they don't even think are human, the men that they don't even see in the world, that is where her mate is. But she's too good for that. So, yeah,
right.
okay.
Well, like with all of that antisocial, look, she even doesn't hide it. You know, she has no savings. She lost all of her money, so no dowry, which is negative dowry. If there is no dowry, gentlemen, just assume it's going to be negative because of her body count, right? The higher her body count is, the higher chance of her encountering more alphas that you have to out alpha, because essentially this is what you are competing against,
It's
right?
negative dowry because she got some worthless degree.
Yes.
Now she thinks she's better, but she has debt. Oh, she has credit card debt. And now you wife her up. Guess what? You get to pay off her student loans and her credit card debt. Yes, that's negative dowry.
It is negative. If your family, if she doesn't have dowry, be ready for baggage and negative dowry, which includes baggage too. Yeah. So yeah, these are the women. This is the women out there, and they all want that chance with a high value man. They all do. Yeah.
So that's what our video is about. Men are realizing this and not signing up.
Mm-hmm.
So let's keep going.
Also, one thing before we keep going,
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't have a boyfriend. That doesn't mean she's not swiping right and having dalliances with other men.
Yeah. Great.
You know, one night stands, but she doesn't have a boyfriend. Just
Yeah.
put that in the back of your mind. Keep
Yeah,
going.
it doesn't mean
Right.
that not having a boyfriend is okay. I'm opening my opportunity for consolidating on a resourceful man that I want, but it doesn't mean that I'm an anatomical virgin here and completely innocent. And
Translate it.
I didn't fuck around.
No, I don't have a boyfriend means I'm not exclusive to any man currently.
Yeah, true. Yeah, she's not exclusive. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, true. Okay, let's keep watching. Yeah, great points. Mm-hmm. Okay.
The emotion he grapples with is not hate for women. It is a deep, pervasive grief for a script that no longer exists. He was raised on stories of heroic quests, of winning the heart of the princess by slaying the dragon. He arrives at the castle, sword in hand,
only to find the princess has slain her own dragon, owns the castle, and is interviewing potential consorts for their emotional availability, political views, and whether their personal growth trajectories are compatible. The dragon was hard, but it was a comprehensible enemy. The interview panel is existentially terrifying, so he lays down his sword. He walks back into the forest, and he discovers to his shock that the forest is not a place of lack, but of a different kind of abundance. The joy he rediscovers is the joy of autonomy, the joy of a Saturday with no obligations, of spending money on his own passions, of deep, uncompetitive friendship with other men who are on the same silent journey. He finds reliability in systems, the gym routine, the investment portfolio, the coding project, that do not suddenly change their rules or accuse him of moral failing for misunderstanding them. This is the great silent disconnect. It is a movement without leaders, without manifestos, without rallies. It is a million individual decisions made in quiet apartments after one too many micro rejections, one too many shifting goalposts, one too many glances at a legal textbook outlining divorce discovery. They are choosing the predictable ache of solitude over the chaotic torment of conditional connection. They are not saying no to women. They are saying not under these terms. And in that not, there is a terrifying nascent power. For when you withdraw your attention, your desire, your pursuit, you withdraw the fuel that has powered the entire social engine for millennia. But this is only the surface layer of the tomb. We have diagnosed the retreat, but not yet unearthed the deepest, most shocking catalyst, a psychological weaponization of intimacy so profound it has made trust itself a mortal risk. Now we will descend into the heart of the modern male dilemma, the betrayal not by strangers, but by the very architecture of love itself. We will expose how therapeutic language has been co-opted as a tool of control, how vulnerability became a trap, and reveal the one historical precedent where a similar collapse of trust led not to quiet withdrawal, but to the literal fall of an empire. We left our modern man in the forest of his own making, finding a quiet, if somber, peace in his sovereignty. But to mistake this retreat as mere frustration with dating apps or economic calculations is to miss the seismic fault line beneath it. This is not a financial or logistical decision, it is a crisis of faith. The deepest wound, the one that truly seals the retreat into solitude, is the systematic evisceration of trust. Men are not just opting out of bad deals, they are fleeing what they have come to experience as a psychologically hostile environment, where the very mechanisms designed for connection have been weaponized into instruments of control and personal risk. The loneliness they choose is, above all, a sanctuary from this specific form of emotional peril. To understand this, we must dissect a modern phenomenon, the therapeutic takeover of intimacy. The language of psychology, boundaries, trauma, triggers, narcissism, gaslighting was developed as a tool for healing, for understanding the self and navigating human pain with more grace. But in the social media age, this language has been distilled, weaponized, and turned into a cultural lexicon of moral judgment. For a generation of men trying to navigate relationships,
Okay,
it
stop
has
this,
become...
Mm-hmm.
Nick. Have
Yeah, Nick was.
any of those terms been used against you? Have they been weaponized against you?
Pretty much. And I just say I'll just take a crap on caring about their feelings and caring about their terms. They can shove it where the sun don't shine, 'cause I don't give a shit about their woke psycho babble.
Now, that is a decision you have come to after being put through the meat grinder.
Several times.
You did, you know, 4 years ago, you wouldn't have said that.
Nope.
It's a lesson you have learned the hard way. Because caring and trying to do your duty ended up being weaponized against you. So, gee, that was a failure. So now, you know what? I may lose, but I'd rather lose by not trying than by trying. What?
Steve, I don't think that it's against him fulfilling his duty. They want men to fulfill their duty. It's just for him having
No. They no. They want the provider duty. They don't want anything
Yeah.
else.
So the provider
Yeah.
works the long hours, does his duty. And then that's weaponized against him. Oh, he was never there for me when I needed him.
True.
Oh, the dog died and he didn't rush home to comfort because he was working. Oh, my mother died and he stayed at work and didn't come home to comfort me because he was getting his shit done so he could take the next week off to go do family stuff with you. But somehow the job got in way of what she wanted at the time, even though he was making the rational decision. Now, both those examples actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
So it's weaponizing. You're doing the right thing, and it's weaponized against you. Now, could you have made a different decision? Sure. When her mother died, yes, I could have said, okay, I need to rush home, comfort my wife. Okay, now the next day, I need to go to work and finish up this stuff so I can take off the next week. How do you think that's going to work? Not. So men are realizing no matter what they do, they lose.
Mm-hmm.
So better not to play the game.
Only way to win is to not play.
Yeah. Don't play. I agree. Mm-hmm.
Now, people might think, oh, Sandman is just bellyache. He's just maybe, fine, whatever. I'd be an idiot if I didn't learn from the things I've experienced. You can tell me, oh no, it's really not that.
Well, somebody wrote here, Mr. Sandman is a bitter male whose ego has been busted several times. Steve?
Okay, well, maybe my stories are reality. And you're just trying to dismiss the reality that many men have experienced and the young men are observing and choosing, I'm not going to go down that path. So, yeah, delude yourself. Blame me for being bitter. Blame Nick for being bitter. Oh, yeah,
No.
we are just
No.
outliers, right, Nick?
So this is what I said on Wednesday. There's this pile of shit, right, on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And you know it smells like shit. It looks like shit. You know, you probably don't want to taste it to know what it tastes like, but the tradcons are trying to tell you, no, let's pluck out your eyeballs, right? Plug your nose and open your ears for me to tell you, no, it's really chocolate.
Yeah.
The chocolate smoothie.
True. Yeah. Yeah, they want men to buy into this bullshit, honestly. They want men to close their eyes and ignore the evidence that is in front of them, ignore the truth, and make this horrible, take this risk. And then when men get zeroed out in the divorce court. It's like, where are all of those people? Well, it was your fault that she divorced you.
I'll tell you where they
didn't.
are.
You didn't man up. You didn't do those things for her. You
What
didn't
they're saying,
serve
what
her.
they're saying is, I don't want to believe in that reality.
Mhm.
Therefore, you are the bitter one. You are the problem. You're a loser man with psychological issues, bitterness, or whatever.
Mhm.
Therefore, I can dismiss your story and go on believing in this fairy tale ideology where, no, this doesn't happen. Women aren't really like that.
Yeah, all women are like that. Even the best ones. We all have the same female nature. Yeah. Women need to be externally restrained, guys. I'm telling you. And it takes a village of men to restrain one woman, like my husband likes to say. So, yeah. Okay. Let's keep watching this one.
A minefield where a misstep is not a simple argument, but a potential indictment of their entire moral character. Consider a story, a composite of hundreds I've heard. A man named James, earnest and in love, makes a clumsy comment to his girlfriend after a long day. Perhaps he asks, "Are you sure you want dessert?" with a tone he intended as playful concern. The reaction is not a sigh or an eye roll. It is a glacial silence, followed by a structured conversation the next day. "When you made that comment about my food, it triggered my body image issues from a past trauma. I need to set a boundary. I cannot
Chris,
be with someone who doesn't create a safe emotion."
who the frick cares?
I know, right? No, but you're supposed to care. This is how they
No,
get,
no, that's
man.
how you lose. That's how
Yeah,
you lose.
I know. Yeah, just fall on the hill. If she, ladies, if you don't cook well, you don't cook well. Go learn how to cook well.
Shut up
If
and make
you're
a sandwich.
if you're 10 pounds, 15 pounds, 30 pounds overweight, and he just makes an offhand comment like that, are you sure you want that? He may not have the intention to say, "You're fat, don't eat that." He may have had that intention. We don't know. She is not a mind reader. She cannot actually read his intentions, but she thinks she can. And he triggered her with some offhand comment that he might have meant it innocently. He might have said, "Well, are you sure you want that now? Like, let's come back and eat dessert in 45 minutes. Hey, you know what? Let's go upstairs, get busy. And then after we're done with that, you can come down and have this dessert." He might have meant that. Who knows? But that comment just proves how insensitive he is.
Oh, it's just like you can't say anything to women. Whatever you say will be taken against you. You
That's
compliment
why you
them,
don't
but
even talk to him. No,
oh,
like they'll try to make you apologize if you're in a corporate workplace. That's why you just don't talk to them.
true.
Don't even engage in conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, because
It's a trap. It's a trap.
like, yeah, if she's overweight, and then it would be, our world would be a better place if more men told to their wives, go lose some body fat, you know? Because yeah, women are complaining about men watching porn, and yet there are so many obese women who could really lose some body fat there, and then they don't want to do it. And then when a man tells them, even indirectly, like there is nothing wrong in telling your wife, especially being so kind to her, telling her indirectly with some hints. But see, women only. I've noticed it even talking about red pill topics. When you are nice to women, they don't take it seriously. You know, they They might, if it suits them, and then they can weaponize it against you, or they can appeal to victimhood. Oh, you are just so mean, you mean this and that. But when you are direct to them, this could really shake them, and then they could actually start doing something. But they won't like you for it. They won't like you for telling them the truth, But only when you tell them the truth, whether directly or indirectly, there might be some change.
Only if you don't care about their feelings.
Exactly.
At the time you say it.
Yeah, you can't care about their feelings. And look, I've told to a lot of women that they would be better off if they lost a few pounds. I mean,
How do they receive that message?
they don't like it, but they say, yeah, maybe you're right, and then some of them, if they want to improve, they actually stay consistent. And there are a few consistent ladies who are attending our Pilates classes at the gym. So, yeah, like telling women the truth, it hurts their feelings, I agree. But if you actually want to help them to get better at something, you have to tell them the truth. The same applies, like if she's not a good cook, okay, like tell her she's not a good cook, she could improve. It's not the end of the world, but yeah, women need to have the some humility to realize that. And I understand, like, sounding it from a man, women take it, oh, you're just a misogynist, you're so evil, you just hate all women. They take it too
Whatever.
personally. Yeah.
Don't care.
Like when a woman, they are more willing to listen to a woman, which I think is wrong. They should listen to their husbands, what their husbands tell them. It's a total violation of the hierarchy. But when a woman tells them, somehow they validate and value her opinion more than the opinion of their own husbands. But there are some guys who really want their wives to go to the gym, and they've been reaching out to me, and they were asking me, how do I convince her to go to the gym? I'm like, look, she has it way too comfortable, because you already give her everything she wants. She doesn't feel incentivized to go because she's not scared of losing you, and the law is on her side. So it's not really helping men there, and then there is not much you can do there. But can you try to convince them to exercise? Like, look, I can do my best. I can tell them that consistent workout is good for them, it's healthy for them, but they are not going to listen because there are
There's a problem.
consequences.
The problem is in your how can I convince my wife? How can I convince a woman?
Exactly.
Okay, you cannot, because you cannot convince a woman, because that implies you're going to use logic, reason, and facts to convince her to do something that she doesn't feel like doing. You can't convince a woman of anything. Logic and reason and facts have no bearing on what she's going to do. It's all based on her feelings.
Yeah.
I mean, so you have to change the environment. You have to kind of outsmart her to make her want to do that. So if you want her to do that, well, you know what? They got this thing called dread game.
Well, yeah, true.
I'm not advocating that, but it is a solution to this problem, right, Elena?
Yeah, it works.
That restaurant.
Yeah, it does work, and but it only works on certain types of women who have humility, some humility, let's say. It doesn't work on all women. So here, Shiv wrote a funny comment. Why don't you work on your body mass index? Here, because if I do, then you win. Here you go. Yeah, this is the attitude. This is the attitude that women have today. They are very entitled, like most of them, and yeah. If you have to convince your wife to do certain things for you, you already lost, because yeah, she's not doing them because she is attracted to you. keeps you because you found her lifestyle, because you are convenient for her, but not because she has this burning desire for you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, let's keep watching the video, guys. Mm-hmm. We are almost done with it. Well,
emotional container. James is not being accused of being clumsy or insensitive. He is being accused of causing psychological harm, of re-inflicting trauma. His apology is not for a poor joke. It is an admission of guilt for a crime he did not know he was committing. The rulebook was changed without his knowledge, and the penalty is excommunication. The psychological safety he is told to provide becomes a one-way street where his own vulnerabilities, his own bad days, his own human flaws cannot risk expression lest they be cataloged as further evidence of his toxic patterning. This creates what psychologists call walking on eggshells anxiety, a state of hypervigilance that is antithetical to genuine intimacy. A landmark 2019 study in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology on relational load found that when individuals perceive their partner as a source of constant evaluation and potential accusation, it leads to emotional withdrawal, increased stress hormones, and ultimately the deactivation of attachment, the precise neurological process of falling out of love. The man begins to self-censor not out of deceit, but out of sheer survival. He stops
Hold on
sharing
right
his
here.
worries about work because they might be dumping.
Yeah, I can relate to this. Walking on eggshells, self-censoring to avoid these problems, trying to do
Mr. Nice
better to, have some peace, maybe get some
Yeah.
sex. It never worked. Did it ever
No,
work for you, Nick?
no, nice guy. These nice guy things that men do just to get along or have peace don't work. It, you just have to be assertive, say what you mean, and don't really apologize for it.
Exactly.
mhm.
I mean, you can try this walking on eggshells. Oh, yes, what I said was insensitive and it triggered her. And then she went on a tirade and told me how wrong I was. And then she brought up everything, including the kitchen sink, of every wrong I've done for the past, since 3 years from prior to meeting her, about all my sins and how I have to atone for every one of them. Holy shit. Just one
Make
little
sure
incident, in
make,
this one trivial thing I did wrong, brings up all my past ills. Or one thing, I ask you to, what, could you make a better meal? Or, maybe you could lose a few pounds. No, that brings up every wrong thing I ever did. And now she has shifted the focus onto my feelings and away from her feelings. Gee, how often did you experience that, Nick?
Yeah, and I go on for hours. I didn't even know what the hell I was arguing about. And I did the dumb thing of just saying yes, dear, at the end, because I just wanted to go to sleep.
Just at
Then
some
she
point, you
eventually
don't even
accused me of
know what the
disagreeing.
fuck you're
Then
you don't even know what
yeah.
the fuck you're arguing about anymore.
Oh, then she'd argue about me just agreeing just to get sleep.
you can't win. There is no winning there. Yeah, whatever you say will be used against you. And yeah, unfortunately, and this is
It,
what people don't
it
realize.
helped
Okay,
towards the end, or it didn't help. I don't know. I just started saying what I just stopped arguing and saying, no, it's what I want. It's mean. I don't care.
they keep
I don't
saying that
care.
they want men to marry women, they want men to feel safe in their marriage, feel vulnerable because it's good. And I've seen, oh God, now all of the content that I've been sharing with you guys, we are not going to look into it, but you know the type of content I'm talking about. It's the threat con women, the threat wives. They say, well, women need to bring peace. Women should do all of those things for their men. They should praise their men. They should validate their men, right? But then it's the bare minimum just to keep a man on the porch so that he keeps providing, so that he keeps taking care of her. And it's still she's in charge, and she tells him where she wants to go, where he's
The,
supposed to lead
her
her.
motive that she's promoting, those women are promoting, is give to him in order to get more from
Yeah.
him than you're giving.
Yeah.
The motive is never give him this because it's your duty. End of story.
Yeah. And I'm
And
sorry.
if you do your duty, everything's going to be okay. Don't worry about getting more in return. Don't give in order to get, give in order to do your duty.
Yeah.
And that's what men do in these marriages. It's my duty to provide and come home every day. Even if he's a nagging bitch and I never get any sex, I'm still doing my duty.
But
He is not doing his duty to get from her because he gets nothing most of the time.
And watch this. My husband usually says it in regards to people who have higher standards, right? Who are holding themselves to higher standards. Other people are going to hold you to those higher standards, but they are not going to hold themselves or anybody else to higher standards, even the same sex, like women. You know, they all hold men to higher standards because our society does, and men, they have those virtues. They have humility, accountability, right? They have the sense of duty, morality, other virtues as well that allow men to see reality for what it is. Women are lacking in so many of these things and they are reluctant to learn from men. And then they say, well, we are closer to Jesus, right? So you're supposed to serve us, you're supposed to do all of those things. Notice how it's all about like, men, you fulfill your duty. Men, you fulfill your duty.
Feminine, as Anita said.
But then, okay, yeah, right. But then when we talk about female duties, well, we can't force women into compliance, right? We can't demand sex from women because she's supposed to have that burning, genuine desire for you guys. So, you know, like, we don't apply any standards on women. The
True.
only standard
You said women lack these things. Sure. I'll agree. Is that a fault in women?
Yes.
No.
Well, the fact, okay, it's okay. They were designed that way, you know. But
Okay,
the fact that
they
don't
grew
realize
up.
that, you know, yes, it's a fault because the fault is that they don't realize that men are better in all of those things than them because they want to bypass men and invert that hierarchy.
Okay, you can look at it that way, but there's no self-made women. A woman who grows up without the discipline of her father is not going to ever understand or possess those things. And there's a lot of traits that men have that women will never possess because they weren't meant to have it. It's not a fault. It's just a difference in the nature of women is different than the nature of men. You cannot ever expect a woman to do what a man can easily do. And there are certain things about women that men want and need that men can't do. They're different.
Well,
Don't
okay, Steve,
say
they
that
are
because a
different,
woman
but
doesn't.
not okay. I get your point. I understand what you're trying
Okay.
to say here. They are different, but I'm going to push back on it a little bit. The fault is
Okay.
that they were raised without restraint and without discipline. This is the fault because those virtues were not taught to them. They are lacking them. Therefore, they are
Right.
faulty.
And they're lacking in understanding that they should be able to do the things that men do, or that men should be able to do the things that women do, or that they're equal. Okay, they might be equal in worth before God, but they're not equal in ability, equal in
And
roles. Is an
feminists
apple
have
equal
no
to a
problem
banana?
with this. Okay, Steve, see how they are cherry picking. Okay, they pick the least objectionable red pill truth and they twist it and add their own spin to it. So the feminists, the tradcon women, the trad wives, they always say, "Oh, men and women are different because we have different roles, right? Men are supposed to provide." They have no problem saying those things, that men and women are different, because women are supposed to be the well taken care of stay-at-home mummies and wives, right? And then men are supposed to provide, men are supposed to take care of them. But they don't realize like that the difference is also in the virtues and the lack of virtues in the women's case, that women don't have and men have.
Sure. It's
It's like we want this part, but we don't want to acknowledge that part, that we are so much worse than men are, in those areas.
lesson to man is everything that makes sense is going to be twisted and used against you. So your proper response is Nick's response. Yeah, okay. I don't care. I'm gonna say what I say. Oh, I hurt your feelings. Oh, I'm
Too
really
bad.
not sorry
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
that. Yeah, you know what? You have the freedom to leave me. Yeah, go away. You don't like it? Go away.
Yeah.
Eh,
Talk.
women do not like being told that. But you know what? They may not like you if you say that, but they will respect you. Believe it or not, women
Respect
are
is
more
my
likely to have sex with a man they respect than a man they love or like.
Mm-hmm. So true. I agree here. 100%. Here, Tacticus says, funny how I used to think TradCon females were such a superior product somehow. I also thought so. This is why a few years ago I even saw that, okay, maybe if we in the Red Pill community started talking to the TradCon women, the Trad wives, we would move somewhere with it. But then I realized that after talking to you guys that no, they're still feminists. They are not doing anything for the benefit of the men. The laws are not changing. They're not interested in solving any problems. They just want to LARP, virtue signal, and then get their princess treatment that they believe they deserve, just wearing a different mask.
Better
It's all
chameleons.
performative art for them. Yeah, they are cons. Yeah, they are all the same, and then they will repeat the least objectionable truth that we talk about in the red pill community. This is why I keep saying that just because she agrees with you somewhere, and then her content is grifting off what red pill guys have been talking about for decades, and just because she repeats all of those least objectionable truth, it doesn't mean that she's pro patriarchy and that she's pro hierarchy and she wants the laws to change. No, it's just her way of upgrading her target audience. She wants a different men to value her, to upload to her. And then when these women don't get their promised veneration from saying all of these socially acceptable things, what do? Or they usually leave.
So
Yeah, it's
this,
not. It's what's it say? It's just your turn, buddy.
well, people watching this might say, "Oh, you're really giving a black pill message. This is so black pill, it's so dark. That's why what the problem is. It's your beliefs. You guys are bitter."
No, it's
Okay,
fact. You have a
it's
problem with
fact.
truth.
A couple weeks ago, I did a show on the resurgence called The 5 Stages of Red Pill Grief. The grieving. And I went through the 5 stages. At the end is the acceptance. You can lament about the nature of women and deny it and get angry about it and all these things. Eventually, you say, yeah, okay, women are this way, and you accept it. And now, if you find a woman, that still meets your needs. Understanding her true nature and what she's capable of, and what you need to do to keep her under your dominion. It doesn't mean you have to hate women. You can say, yeah, I find a woman like that, great. I don't have to hate women for this. I just have to understand it. That may mean I I could find a woman, but I'm not going to go desperately looking for a woman and jumping through all the hoops or lamenting about the fact that I can't find one. If it happens, it happens.
Yeah. Yeah. If she knows that she's better off by following your lead and submitting to you and you restraining her, then yeah, she might be a decent woman. I'm not saying all women are horrible out there that don't ever marry, you know. It's just
No,
There,
no. Beware the grift where they say that, but in actuality,
in actuality,
it's
yeah, if she
it's
actually
the
is doing
bullshit.
it. Yeah, this is why I keep saying be careful with what women say and what they how they LARP on social media, because also watch who is watching them and then analyze their content. The women on social media, they are not traditional, period, end of discussion. Even I don't call myself traditional. I never claimed that title. Thank you. I don't want it. I'm not a traditional woman. I'm on social media. Okay.
so, so the women complain that there are no good men out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're out here. Whether you include me in that category or not, they're out. So I have to apply that same logic to myself. Yeah, are there good women out there? Yes, absolutely. Will I find one? I have no idea. But that good woman that I find, is she going to be spouting the thing? Not all women are like that. Bullshit.
Yeah.
All women are like that. Just because you're like that doesn't mean you've acted upon it. Doesn't mean you're a bad woman, but you are definitely like that. There, but for the grace of God, go you. There are all kinds of women in history that have been good women and then faced with circumstances
Mm-hmm.
have turned to illicit activities for survival.
Yeah.
She was capable of that.
All women are.
Every woman is capable of the worst things that any woman does. She still
Get
might
the
be a
divorce
good woman.
rates. A woman shows
Yes.
her true colors during a divorce.
Oh, absolutely. But that true nature exists within all women, not
Uh,
just the women who choose to use it. You can walk around with a pistol or a gun, have the capability of doing nasty things with that. But if you don't do it, doesn't mean you don't have the gun.
Yeah.
So women who all have a gun, some of them take it out and use it.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them don't, but they all have the gun.
So in a way, I would say that if she was raised by a dominant dad and she has dowry, maybe she could have better chances than most women.
Sure.
But then she has to be not against the idea of being restrained by her man, but she can only agree to that if she was raised by a dominant father who was restraining her. It can't be just,
Maybe.
oh, look at me here. I predict this future trend in the Thread Con and Thread Wife LARP, where they will all
Doesn't.
start talking about
Who
their
cares?
debt. Even Meghan Markle. Okay, Meghan Markle. She recently reached out to her dad after dissing him for so many years because it wasn't DEI popular, and now the DEI narrative is fading away. And what does she do? Oh, dad, I remembered I had a dad somewhere there, And I predict some women are going to use it to showcase their fantastic relationship with their dad, all of those cute pictures and all of that stuff, just to give you an illusion that she was raised by a dad. Her dad was there while she was growing up, guys. It's coming, okay? Because of
Of
we
course.
talk about the importance of dads, and a lot of research says that women are usually, and children in general, are better off with their dads.
She's gonna try and frame the issue. That's her spinning a narrative. You know what? You don't really have to worry about that, guys. If you have the frame, and you kind of take Nick's attitude. I don't care if I hurt your feelings. There's the door. No, I'm not buying this. That's not. I have the frame here. No, you can comply with me. You can come into my life adventure. I'm not going on your life adventure. Then she will self-select out of your life if she can't abide.
Yeah. And be careful with all of the LARPs that women are coming up with. They keep adding more things to it. They are still negotiating, and it's funny to watch. It's funny to watch. I see the church ladies, they say, well, you need to be intimate with your husband, just praise him more, and just do what he wants you to do, occasionally, once in a while, and he will treat you so much better for it. They always add it. It's like, honestly, ladies, you like but they don't get it. Like they always add some details that are red flags, guys. If you're paying attention to what they are saying, they usually start well. Okay, I'll give them that. Like they usually start well by sending that message. Well, men and women are not the same. We provide different values and blah 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 in the eyes of God. They might even bring up God there, and then they say how it's still women deserve the princess
It's
treatment.
still how
Yeah.
can I manipulate a man to get what I want, not so that I can actually do my duty, but so I can get what I want and do things that are considered good to get what I want.
Yeah. There was one church lady from one account who was saying, you honor God by submitting to your husband, but remember that you only let him lead you where you want to go, basically. So it's conditional submission. It's not that, okay, she spreads her legs, she's supposed to do this. Okay, ladies, you're supposed to do
Here's the
this.
door. So the
You
guy
know,
has to just be saying, "There's the door. I
yeah,
don't care. There's the door." You
but
can
like
choose to walk out it.
for women, they can't just say, oh, I only want to submit to you because you do all of those things for me. No, you spread your legs for this man. You submit to him completely without question, because you already chose that
Because
man,
it's your duty.
and it's your duty. Exactly, it's your duty to submit to him. I don't care about your feelings, I don't care about your emotions. You spread your legs, you made that decision, you have to submit to him now, and not without like trying to get more value, trying to extract more resources from him. No, but they always add those things, and this is how you can differentiate between, like, okay, authentic, which
This is why men just say, "F this. I don't want to deal with it.
Mhm.
It's not a good investment. I win. I'm not playing."
And the other lesson is don't listen to women.
I mean, you
All
can
you
listen to them.
Christian men out there,
Don't take
listening to tradcon wives. This is what you should do because this is what a trad wife wants. And if I do these things for my wife, she'll turn into Trad. No, don't listen to women, because women do not ever really understand things from a male perspective as to what works. They just do it as to what they superficially want. But if they get what they superficially want, it's
They
not what
lose
they really
respect
want.
for you. Yeah, they lose respect for you. Yeah. You give women what they want, eventually you lose respect for them. Look, even my husband doesn't give me what I want, and I know it. And I know that it's good for me. I often hear no from my husband. So, and I wouldn't take it any other way. No is good. Ladies, embrace the no, and no is no. There is no negotiation there. Well, maybe this. No. It's no. Deal with it. Yeah. And look, you can listen to women what they say, just don't act upon it. Like whatever they say, they tell on themselves. Listening to them can help you to discern whether they are who they are, basically, figure them out. Because women talk a lot, but then do their words match their actions, and yeah, watch their behavior.
When
And
women talk, they're
yeah,
giving you information.
yeah,
They're not necessarily giving you truth.
of course not.
Not, and they may not intentionally be lying. I'm not implying that. They're giving you information. You have to put it through a filter. What's she meaning? What does she want? Does she even know what she wants? Is she desiring to rule over me, or is her desire for her husband to be the husband, to be in control, but he shall rule over her? Okay, that's back in Genesis. So what she says and what she's working towards versus what you have to do to rule over her and if you actually rule well, she will actually be more content than if you give in to what she says she wants.
It's
It's an obvious conclusion here.
and in a way, it's a shit test. Women test you. Like, will he crack and give me what I want? Or does he have enough frame to say no to me? And usually women like the men who say no to them. So yeah. Yeah, don't blindly trust what women say. Most of it is they are selling a narrative, especially in the case of the TradCon and TradVives. Yeah. Okay, let's keep watching the video here.
He hesitates to express a physical desire for fear it will be labeled coercive. He swallows his own frustrations because to voice them might be aggressive. The relationship ceases to be a shared space and becomes a monitored performance where he is the perpetual probationer. The joy of easy companionship is replaced by the exhausting labor of constant self-auditing. Is it any wonder that the peace of genuine solitude starts to look like a relief? This weaponized lexicon finds its most destructive power in the dissolution phase. Here we encounter a devastating real-world case study, the startup founder divorce phenomenon documented in Silicon Valley legal circles. It follows a chillingly predictable pattern. A founder, often a brilliant but socially awkward man, marries a woman early in his grueling journey. She provides emotional support during the brutal, uncertain years. He, driven and focused, often neglects the relationship, a common human flaw magnified by insane pressure. The startup succeeds spectacularly. Then the divorce filing arrives. But it is not a simple division of assets. The legal complaint, drafted by sophisticated attorneys, is a masterpiece of narrative weaponization. It paints the founder not as a flawed partner, but as a narcissistic, emotionally abusive monster who created a hostile home environment.
Sounds familiar, right, Nick?
Why are you laughing, Nick?
Oh, it's the same shit I had to go through.
Abusive,
Same script.
emotionally.
Same script.
You are an emotionally abusive monster, huh?
I
Need to
exist.
write it down.
I exist. My existence equals abuse. Yes.
And yet they
Yeah,
want
you said that before,
your
Nick.
resources.
Yeah, I got a shirt with where it says my existence and I have an equal sign in the bottom that says abuse.
Yeah, I know, right? Might as well embrace it. Look, emotionally abusive monster, huh?
What do
Yeah,
you do? Come home too late? See you at a meeting or some shit?
I know. You didn't praise her enough, Nick.
Uh,
You didn't provide that emotional support that she was looking for. Look, the more support you provide, and I've been challenging some simps on Instagram. I stopped doing it because it's useless. They will keep doing what they are doing. And there is one guy, he's really guessing up women. And the problem with all of this guess up, no matter how much you give it to them, it's never going to be enough. Like the men who are following that stupid advice, they in the end become zeroed out, you know. Women don't want this man.
Unfortunately, that's true.
Yeah, they are spiraling, they are doing all of those things, they are manning up, they are providing, they are trying to spend time with the family, with her, taking her out to nice restaurants and trips. And then how does she pay him back? What's her rate of return? Here, divorce papers, and false accusations. And then she takes the kids away from him. This is how she repays him.
yep. Every judge needs to be, well, let's just say, basically it's called kidnapping the kids, extortion, ransom payments, stealing. Okay. Yeah, I think when they appear before God on the last day, yeah, straight to hell with them.
Well, Dr. Orion Caravan
Yep.
has a statement. Okay, so you've done all this for a woman. You've provided for years. You've been there when she needs it. She is you're you're a good man with the children, and all of a sudden she wants to leave. Well, what about everything that you've done for her in the past? Well,
Doesn't
he
matter.
has a statement to
Mhm.
explain this. No one needs the plumber after the toilet is unplugged. No one's going to pay the plumber in the future for a toilet they unplugged in the past.
That's so true.
So whatever you gave to her in the past, okay, that's just gone. I mean, that's already done. You get no future consideration for stuff you did in the past.
Well, and
Is
it's
that right, Nick?
You get nothing. In fact, anything that you did for her could be used against you.
yeah.
Well, now she became entitled to that. So she's going to want to still get that from you, even when the marriage is over. That's the way it works.
Yep, these
Ah,
judges can all just go straight to hell,
and
right where they deserve,
women,
and the women too.
women don't possess the same values, the same virtues men have, so they need to be restrained because they don't have those virtues by nature. They were not designed that way. They could be raised with some of those traits if they had a dominant masculine father who would restrain them and impose some discipline on them while they were growing up, but it doesn't come naturally to them. This is why they need to be restrained, and women don't realize it. They don't realize that restraint is good for them. It's healthy and it's very, very beneficial for their long-term well-being. Yeah, it hurts their feelings, but who cares about feelings? I mean, we are at the point when taking care of other people's feelings is just it causes more harm. It doesn't solve the problem.
Yep.
Okay, let's finish this video.
His intense focus is reframed as neglect and emotional deprivation. His social awkwardness becomes covert manipulation. His frustration at arguments becomes evidence of a volatile temperament. This narrative is not just for the judge, it is strategically leaked to the press. The goal is twofold: to gain a crushing advantage in asset division and custody, and to socially annihilate him, making any defense look like the bluster of the abuser he's been framed as. For the men in this circle who witness it, the message is seared into their psyches. Even your greatest professional triumph can be obliterated by a post hoc therapeutic narrative. Your life's work.
Did you say something, Nick?
Yeah, I live this. This is why I'm no longer practicing as a pastor anymore. My whole is defamation basically, but they can legally do it. They can accuse you of all these evil things and plaster it all over, especially with Duluth family law. They can make all these accusations against you with no evidence, and in fact, actually be the abuser. And they'll destroy your career, destroy your image, destroy what you've built up.
And it's all based on women's feelings. Do people really think that of listening to your heart and following your feelings is such a good thing when men's lives, kids' lives get destroyed?
Sure. They do believe that.
But then they say, well, we need more kids, right? Like, why don't you take care of the kids that we already have, who are being raised without fathers? Whose lives will be ruined by a single mother.
What? You're trying to apply logic and reason to a problem. We don't do that. We just blame.
Yeah, well, I guess it's...
You're trying to come up with a solution. The simple solution is it's the man's fault. You don't need to think any deeper than that. That's what society says.
Okay.
And men are saying, okay, if it's always my fault, I choose not to play.
Yep.
Well, and this is why you can't blame men. Like the message to ThreadCon and ThreadVice, like, stop blaming and shaming men. They won't stop doing that, by the way. But the problem is not the men. The problem is the women. And the problem is that the ThreadCons and ThreadVice will never admit and they will never agree that women need to be restrained. Notice how all of this, and you guys, I did actually take some pictures from your previous Wednesday's live stream, and I shared those pictures on my Twitter account. The summit of female leaders, so many ThreadWives, your ThreadCon women, even the former Con stars were there gathering and talking about how women should lead. This is bullshit. This is not traditional. And then how they refuse to talk to the traditional Christian red pill men. It's not just them, but it's also the ThreadCon men who are selling the narrative to men. marriage at all costs. We need those numbers, the birth rates to go up at all costs. We don't care how many men's lives we get to destroy, how many kids' lives we get to destroy. We just want those numbers up. It's all we care about. We don't care about the quality of life of those people. Men are just slaves. They are not people. They're supposed to do as they are told. Yeah, reviling wives will source white knights to fight their husbands. And this is what they do. All of these women that you guys listed, go watch that Wednesday live stream. It was really good. I really enjoyed watching it on the resurgence of
Good some
sanity.
people.
Yeah. Like all of those wives, ladies, go home. Nobody needs your
That's what
services.
John MacArthur says. He said that to Beth Moore. And that's what I just say to all the women. Go home. Don't need it. Don't want it.
Yeah,
It's
go
a
home.
freaking headache. Go home.
Make your husband a sandwich and suck his dick like you lost your keys in it. That's your place. That's what God designed you to do. Like, and then they preach morality. They preach how men and women are supposed to do marriage in our immoral society. It's not your place to preach. Shut up. Listen to your husband and do what he
Get on your knees.
Our society can function without you.
Don't you know their boyfriend Jesus doesn't treat them that way?
Oh, you mean their imaginary boyfriends that
Yeah.
they all want? Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, their place is in the psychiatry clinic, honestly, with all of those delusions. But the clinic will run out of space to locate all of the women who believe that. Yeah.
Well, building more prisons to house men who can't afford child support.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Well,
it's true. It's true.
you know, we need some places to locate all of those women to, you know.
It's not going to work if the men don't sign up
Yeah.
for marriage. Just the divorce industry is just going to be starved of money. Just like the bridal industry pretty much collapsed about 10 years ago. Remember David's Bridal?
Yes.
There's stores all over.
I remember that store. Yeah.
They no longer exist.
Good. Yeah.
Because women aren't virgins these days, anyways.
Exactly.
So why bother?
Yeah, you're not supposed to wear a white dress, right? If you're not a virgin.
That's the old fashioned. That's
Like, you know why they
here.
say it's old fashioned? Is because they have to sell white dresses, but there's not enough virgins to go.
A woman is lovable regardless of her size or her body count.
Yeah, right. Well, then Jesus, logically, then okay, by that logic, yeah, I agree. Jesus is your boyfriend, and you will be single for the rest of your life. The best you can hope for, ladies, in that case, is get yourself a cat, a fixed male cat who will absorb all of your negative emotions and who will be your companion for life. And then boxed wine. Okay, boxed wine. With some maybe even with some Ozempic also, you know, to help you. Yeah. Perfect life there. I mean, perfect. Yeah. Perfect outcome. They are doing it to themselves. And the thing is that really it's quite amusing to watch, actually. They whine and complain how horrible men are, and then they create all of this mess for themselves, by themselves, and then they just shift the blame. And the recent one was blaming everything on feminism. Okay, this is what I see the thread larp, the chicks who are selling that narrative are doing. Well, we live in an immoral society. Let's revive those traditional family values. Okay, ladies, let's go back to the patriarchy. You go back to the kitchen, shut up, get out of social media, fuck your husband on his schedule, and then help your husband be a helpmate. Let's do it. You don't want to go that far. Oh, that's too extreme, Elena. Let's not go that far. Let's go back to the 1960s when it wasn't actually, if you look at that time, that they all want to go back to, and I talked about it to my husband. He said 1960s wasn't actually that bad for women because they started getting all of those freedoms. The men were a little more masculine. There were certain things that women couldn't do, but it wasn't really that bad for women.
You know why? What did women have in their home in the 1960s?
Yeah.
A washing machine,
All of the
a
technology.
dryer,
Mhm.
maybe a dishwasher. Probably not in the 60s, but they had an electric range. No, they didn't have a microwave. Oh, they had a vacuum cleaner.
Oh yes, that's a big deal, actually. Mhm.
Now, we take these things for granted.
Mhm.
But 100 years ago, traditionally, Monday was laundry day. What did that mean? It meant, well, you had to bring in wood, heat up water on your wood burning stove. And remember, most of the country was rural. So you had to heat the water. Then you had to put it in a wash basin. Then you had to put the clothes in the wash basin. Yeah, you had soap at this time, but you may not have had a mechanical washing machine because this was, let's say, 1900s. So you used a washing board to scrub it, and then you had to haul the clothes outside and put them on a clothesline. Oh, what did you do in the winter when it was 20 below out or 0 degrees outside? What did you do? The same thing. The same thing. It dried, it froze, and you had to deal with it. It took you all day long, 1 day a week, to do laundry. And then in the 30s, Maytag washing machine. It had a gasoline engine underneath to run it. And then, it agitated the clothes. Oh, wonderful. And then it had that wringer on top, so you had to pull the clothes out and you had to send them through the wringer to dry them out.
Mhm.
And then what did you do with them? Oh, you hung them on the line, the clothesline, to dry them out. Do you know how much labor women had to do? Oh, do you remember back? Oh, there used to be a thing called a shaker porch on the second floor of houses. You know why? Because they didn't have vacuum cleaners. When they cleaned the house, they had to take rugs outside and shake them off. You didn't have a vacuum cleaner. So all these labor saving devices, they were pretty prevalent by the 1960s. The amount of women's labor had dropped so dramatically.
Mhm.
Oh, what did they do with that time? We had TV. We had soap operas.
Oh God.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Life was so difficult for women in the
I know,
1960s.
right? Well, this is why the trad LARP, the trad wives, the trad cons, they want to go back to that time because really it wasn't that bad for them. With all of the technologies, they could still get all of the benefits without doing much work. Although they would say that, well, raising kids is so much work. It's so hard now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Being a
they
wife,
hadn't.
is so difficult.
See,
Look, guys, I washed the house. Oh, sorry, I cleaned the house. We talked about the washing. I cleaned the house. It used to take me because back when I was at my grandma's house in the village, it would take a long time to clean her house because I didn't have a mop. I had to do it all manually, so it would take me like a few days to help her clean the house, and it wasn't even that messy. My grandma was very clean lady. She was taking care of her house, and everything. And then recently, before the Thanksgiving, it took me a few hours to clean the whole house. With all of the technology, I had the vacuum cleaner. I did the dishwashers in the I used the dishwasher to do the dishes, and then I washed the floor with a mop,
so
which was much
Elena,
quicker.
which day do you do your baking? Bake all the bread for the week?
I don't eat bread. We don't eat bread, so I
Oh,
usually do.
but old fashioned, everybody ate bread.
Yeah,
Baking, that was another day.
yeah.
You had to bake all the bread, the buns, loaves. You didn't buy bread in the grocery store.
Exactly. You had to
Are
make.
you nuts? That was an innovation that came around in the 1930s, maybe. Sliced bread happened about 10 years later. I don't know, 30s, 40s. You didn't buy sliced bread.
I know, right? Tacticus here says, Steve, we had to do something with the new female workforce and offer them careers and tax double, yeah.
Oh, yeah, double the tax.
Double
Yeah,
the
well,
tax, yeah.
they had so much idle time compared with women 100 to 150 years ago. I
Mhm.
am not.
Well, now what
The
they want,
amount of labor. Okay, women used to do real labor,
yeah.
but now modern women have replaced the real labor with emotional labor.
Uh, yeah. Well, and then look, they want to go back to those times without changing the legal system. They are fine with the current legal system. They don't want to redesign the laws that will favor men. The custody for kids goes to men, so that the patriarch is in charge of the family. They don't want the patriarch in charge of the family. They don't want to change anything. They just want the aesthetics of the 1960s. That's all. It looks cute to wear a sunflower dress. They don't even mind to bake bread or cookies or pies on camera. And this is what we see even the former corn stars are doing. Wow, if that's a lot, well, I guess everyone should do it, right? Let's ladies unite and bake some cake on social media. We'll get so many compliments. Everyone will think that we are so traditional because, see, visually we put all of the attributes. Here is my cross. Here is my bake in my apron.
So we're what, an hour and a half in, or two and a half hours.
Oh my.
So the
Okay.
point of this whole stream, men are winning because they're opting out.
Mm-hmm.
And who's complaining? Oh, the women are complaining. Where are all the good men? Oh, they have to work. Look at the young women, what, Gen Z? Oh, complaining about having to work a 40-hour work week. Oh, all the debt. Oh, and where are the men? And oh man, the TikTok, Instagram women complaining about their miserable lives and how they have this long laundry list of things they want from men, they are complaining big time.
Yeah.
Who else is complaining? The tradcons. Men are not stepping up to be men to wife up these women, and it's terrible. Men need to do something, and the men are not doing something.
That's good.
Men are winning. The men,
Men are winning.
and the longer men choose to do something other than marriage, because marriage, the laws of marriage, the reality, the rule of law is not there. And so everybody is complaining, and the men still don't change. They don't step up. They don't walk into the machine gun fire. Eventually, the machine gun's going to go away, or society is absolutely going to crumble. Maybe a bit of both, but there is no other way out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a good thing that men are checking out. They want nothing to do with women, even though it frustrates a lot of women out there and the tradcons. But this is what needs to happen.
Only 80% of the men are checking out. The other 20 are the chads, and they're cleaning up on all the women. They're having their fun. And you cannot change the behavior of those 20% men to have them stop their aiming and banging all the women. You're not going to stop their behavior. And the vast majority of the men who checked out, you're not going to change their behavior. That, nah, I can't compete. No, rules are against me. No, I'm not going to do it. You are not going to jawbone men into doing what you want them to do. It's not the nature of a man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm glad to see that men are saying no. They're saying no to bullshit. They're not buying into it. They don't want to wipe up this horse, and it's for the benefit of our society, actually. Because if you look at the quality of life that the kids have who are being raised by single mummies, okay, at best, kids will maybe figure it out if they get under the good influence. Maybe there are certain exceptions from the rule, but data suggests that single mothers, they are incapable of raising mentally stable, healthy children. So all of you trad people who say you want more kids, like, how much do you care about kids? And how much are you willing to throw these kids under the bus and use them as accessory tools, as resources for these women to get more attention, public veneration, and destroy the kids' lives? How much do you care about these kids?
Don't.
Like all
You're
of these
con.
anti-abortion
It's a con.
activists, yeah, it's
The
all a
purpose of the
con.
system is in what it does, which is trying to convince more idiot men to wife up these trashy women and create more single mothers.
There is no family, there is no marriage without a patriarch. Without patriarchy, there is no marriage, guys.
And you can increase the birth rate. Big whoop. That's not the solution. The solution is to raise the birth rate and have those children grow up till they're 18 years old under the roof their father owns. So all you tradcons saying, oh, you need to get married and have more kids. No. Okay, fine. But you haven't succeeded until those children are assured to grow up in their father's home until they're 18 years old. And unless you fix that problem for 18 years, you haven't fixed the problem.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't just tell men, well, you wife up this horse and then we will come to that solution later. No, you have to start fixing the problem. It's not going to happen overnight. It's a long-lasting solution. And yeah, we are going to experience some birth decline in that period. And if you actually want to fix the problem, you would say yes to that.
Yeah.
Humanity won't die. Look, during the world wars, men still procreated. Men don't need wives. Another bullshit narratives that I hear from church ladies presiding and preaching, which they are not supposed to do, by the way, based on the biblical hierarchy, right? But they still do it. The narrative that the Treadcons are trying to sell also, men need women to survive. No, men don't need women to survive. Men can live perfectly fine without women for 90 years. It's the women who need men, the women who can't survive without men for 3 months because she relies on a man to transport the groceries that she buys in the supermarket, right? Look, Steve, he's a trucker. He drives food, right? Among other things. Then women need men to fix their phones when they break, to fix their cars when they break. Like, yeah, it's nice to say that, well, in this environment where we replaced men with technology, we can use those tools. But if you don't know how to use those tools, how many women know actually how to use those tools? I haven't seen a lot of plumbers. I haven't seen a lot of female auto mechanics fixing cars and being good at it. No, even the most independent women out there who say, well, you know, like the Wi-Fi was designed by one woman, that small part of Wi-Fi, then let's just say that all women are capable of the things that men are capable of. No, that's just false. It's bullshit. Yeah.
Do we have any of the video left?
Well, I don't know if you want to keep watching it. Steve, are you making noise in there somewhere? Okay.
Yeah, probably. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Mm-hmm. Okay, how much do we have left?
I think my microphone's still messed up.
Guys, we have 10,
Anyway,
10 more minutes. Okay, let's just push through it. We will watch it, try not to interrupt it, and then, okay. Feel free to stop it, like if it's something you want to add. Mm-hmm.
Can be reframed as a symptom of your pathology. Your love can be retroactively defined as abuse. The lesson learned is that vulnerability is not just risky, it is potentially catastrophic. Better to never provide the ammunition. This fear is not paranoia. It is a rational reading of the legal and social landscape. Let's anchor this in a shocking piece of historical legal research. Scholar Dr. Margaret Brinig, in her analysis of divorce law evolution, pinpointed the unilateral no-fault divorce revolution of the 1970s as a watershed moment whose unintended consequences we are only now fully realizing. While rightly ending the charade of needing to prove adultery or cruelty, it also removed any concept of mutual responsibility or fault from the dissolution. When combined with the prevailing legal doctrines of child custody and asset division, it created what economists call a moral hazard. For one party, historically but not exclusively the wife, the risks of ending the marriage plummeted, while the potential rewards, primary custody, child support, alimony, a portion of assets, remained high or even increased. The data is stark. According to the Census Bureau, approximately 80% of divorces are initiated by women. In the common refrain of family lawyers to male clients, you are not paying alimony because you're a man. You are paying alimony because you earn more, and she is the one who left. The man often experiences this not as freedom, but as a form of legalized plunder, where his years of labor and provision are extracted as the price of his exit from a contract his partner chose to dissolve. He sees his children become financial and emotional leverage. The system seems designed not for justice, but for his functional liquidation. When the potential cost of a mistake in partnership is not heartbreak, but financial ruin and the loss of your children, the most rational investment strategy is to never invest at all. So where does this leave the modern man? He is caught in a trap between two unbearable options. On one side is the chaotic, accusatory-prone battlefield of modern intimacy, where his words can be weaponized, his intentions criminalized, and his exit potentially catastrophic. On the other is the profound human ache of solitude. He is choosing the ache. Because the ache, at least, has dignity. It does not demand he compromise his perception of reality. It does not force him to confess to crimes he did not commit. This is the core of the black pill philosophy. Not hatred, but a cold, disillusioned acknowledgement of systemic dynamics, viewed not with rage, but with the detached clarity of a physicist observing a law of nature. It is the understanding that the game is not merely rigged, but that the prize itself has been poisoned. But this is not where our story ends, because within this bleak landscape, a curious and powerful transformation is taking place. The energy that once was spent in the pursuit of female validation is not vanishing. It is being redirected and transmuted. This is the great transmutation of male energy. We see it in the explosive growth of the manosphere adjacent spaces, focused not on grievance, but on building. The primal drive for status, for legacy, for conquest, drives that for millennia were channeled almost exclusively through women and family, are now being funneled into parallel arenas. The gym culture is not just about health, it is about sculpting a temple of self-ownership. The obsession with financial markets, crypto, and entrepreneurship is about building a kingdom no court can partition. The deep dive into history, philosophy, and skills is about forging an unassailable mind. The male pilgrimage to remote fishing spots, hunting cabins, and martial arts dojos is a modern version of the vision quest, seeking validation not from a gendered other, but from the confrontation with nature, with challenge, with the self. This is the inspiration that flickers in the darkness. The man who chooses solitude is not necessarily a defeated man. He may be a man in a necessary period of incubation. He is the samurai practicing mushin, the mind without mind, in solitude before battle. He is the stoic philosopher building his inner citadel while the barbarians rage outside the gates. He is like Michelangelo, who, according to legend, was once asked how he created his magnificent statue of David. He replied, "I saw the angel in the marble and carved until I set him free." The modern man choosing loneliness is carving away everything that is not essential: the need for external validation, the dependency on a system he cannot trust, the fragile ego that sought constant approval. He is carving, often through immense pain, to find the irreducible core of his own sovereignty. The future this points to is not a war between the sexes. It is a great, sorrowful uncoupling. Two parallel societies forming, one gynocentric, orbiting the old institutions of relationship and family, now transformed, the other androcentric, orbiting systems, hierarchies, and pursuits of mastery. They will intersect for business, for art, for fleeting pleasures, but the deep binding trust of lifelong pairing may become for a significant portion of men a relic of a different age. They will find their joy in the mastery of a craft, the camaraderie of brothers on a similar path, the shock of a profound idea discovered at 3 a.m., the simple, reliable satisfaction of a body pushed to its limit. They will build their own cathedrals, not of stone and glass, but of code, capital, and physical prowess. Their legacy will not be children, but innovations, companies, works of art, and the quiet example of a life lived on self-defined terms. The man secretly choosing loneliness is not a ghost. He is a pioneer on a harsh, uncharted frontier. He has looked at the offer of modern connection and seen the small print written in the language of therapeutic indictment and financial peril. He has calculated the cost to his peace, his sanity, and his autonomy, and found the price too high. His choice is not a cry for help, it is a statement of value. He is trading the volatile, high-risk stock of romantic love for the stable, if modest, bond of self-possession. He is not done with women. He is done with the game as it is currently architected. And in that quiet mass withdrawal, he is sending the most powerful message possible. By removing his attention, his desire, and his commitment, he is demonstrating that the entire system cannot function without his willing participation. He is waiting, in his disciplined solitude, for the world to produce an offer worthy of his trust once more. Until then, his loneliness is not a prison, it is his fortress. And from its ramparts, he is watching and he is building, utterly alone and utterly free.
Looks like we...
But his function, his status...
Okay. I think we finished that video, right?
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did remove it. Yeah. Is anyone surprised? Mm. Steve, you are muted. Sorry. I muted you because you were making some noise there.
So it's happening. And it's good. It's going to continue to happen until it makes sense for men to, and until the rules of the game change, then men will again come back.
The law has to change. The law has to change. Until that changes, there is no point in marriage for men. And they don't really want to change the law. The change is unavoidable. It's coming. It's just in pursuit of delaying the crisis and trying to get as many men on that plantation to wife up these women. They are delaying the unavoidable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm glad to see honestly that a lot of men are waking up and they are not, they choose not to play the marriage game anymore because it doesn't benefit them. It doesn't benefit the children that they can have with these women. It doesn't benefit the society in the long term either.
I mean,
Because
this is not just the United States. This is like all around the world, and are waking up. It's like, this is not working.
It's not.
We don't want your feminist bullshit garbage anymore. We're tired of you destroying everything that we hold dear. How about we just don't play? That's the only way to win. And let society crumble. Let the pieces of shit crumble. Let all these judges burn in hell. And maybe society might change.
Yeah. Well, this is why we are not quite in crisis yet, because I see people are trying to push their narratives. They are not uniting yet to find solutions. They refuse to talk, like you guys mentioned in your Wednesday's live stream, that a lot of traditional conservatives, they refuse to talk to the Christian red pill guys, even the black pill guys, the MGTOW guys. All they see is the PUA, the pickup artists guys. It's a small faction of the red pill community. Most men just choose not to deal with women. That's all. And it's not. There is nothing wrong with this men. It's like I really don't like it when people say, well, if you refuse to talk to women, if you don't know, if you don't have game, if you don't have money, muscles, then it's your fault. It's like you are wrong there. You know, you are a spurg. You're just not a man because you don't fuck those women.
Okay, here's what's going to happen.
Not my problem.
Are the laws going to change to make things different? Way the fuck down the road. That's not the first thing that's going to happen. We have you been paying attention to what's going on in the world? This AI thing, which is overblown, but it's still real. The first thing that AI is going to do is take away lower level white collar jobs, clerks, analysts, things like that. You know, the back office people. That's going to primarily affect women. They'll be out of work. Oh, all these women going into social work. Yeah, okay. Fewer marriages means a lesser need for social workers. Oh, early childhood development. Oh, yeah. Well, a shitty job, but daycare workers. We having less children, so less women employed there. So all through this, the people who are going to be out of work first, or not to mention, we're probably headed into a recession. It's going to, this time, it's predominantly going to affect women. The blue collar men, you know, they're going to see a setback, but those jobs will still be there. So women are going to be hurting and absolutely without a pot to piss in. And they're going to come crying back to just find any man. They're desperate. Desperate women will accept any man who
Isaiah 3
can
turns into
provide.
Isaiah 4. Isaiah 3 turns into
So at
Isaiah
that
4.
point,
That's
okay, the laws will not have changed before women change. So at this point, when the women come crying back, men, you have all the power, you have all the leverage. You can set the ground rules. Do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely do it. Have a written legal agreement of what her duties are. Now, this is even without marriage. Have a written legal agreement. Okay, here's what you're promising to. Negotiate with her. But remember, you have the power. She needs you. You don't need her.
Yeah.
So you can rewrite your reality without the laws changing.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far, Steve. I'm looking
Wait,
at
what
it
do you
from the
mean?
practical standpoint.
Practically, did I say guaranteed? No risk?
I'm not
I
talking
didn't say
about
that.
guarantee. It's still a risk. Look, if the prenuptial agreements get shredded in the divorce court, then this agreement
I
practically,
never said it is without
especially if she
risk.
convinces the judges, the current judges under the current system, if she convinces them that he is an emotionally abusive monster, do you think that the judges want
No, I don't.
that?
Okay, you're. I never said it was zero risk. Men take risks all the time. All I'm saying is the power is now on your behalf. Use the power. Does that mean
Not
it's
yet.
guaranteed?
It's
Does
not
that mean
yet
it's zero
because
risk? Does
the
that
laws
mean it
are
won't
not on
work
men's side.
against you at some point? No.
Okay, maybe they will be able to do it. Okay, maybe they will be able to do it. Some men might be able to pull it off, but then don't have kids, because if you have kids, she can use them in the divorce court against you to extract more resources from you, and it doesn't even matter whether she's married or not. If the paternity test proves
Absolutely.
that he's the father, then he's on the hook for the alimony and child support in the current system. The system has to change for your agreement to work. The entire system has to change.
No. You're jumping too far. for my idea to work without any risk, yes. Men always take risks. When the
But
risk
we just
balance
earlier
moves,
today. Okay,
you
Steve.
evaluate your risk.
Okay, Steve.
And then
We just earlier today in the live stream say that marriage is a stupid risk for men to take. It's a huge risk for men to take.
I didn't say men to get married, but I know practical men, in practical terms, men still desire women. And when women are destitute and are going to come crying, and now, oh, unavailable woman, men
Yeah, when
are
they
going to,
when
men are going to fall for that.
when they
I'm
are
saying,
desperate, yes, but then how desperate are they if they are still okay, if they refuse to change the laws? And you just mentioned earlier that women are the ones who have to change the laws because they are the judges, they are in charge of the institutions. Okay, so they have to be really desperate to start changing the laws. If they are not desperate enough to change the laws, then why bother?
you're not going to change the laws that way. You're going to change the laws one woman at a time. So the man asserts his, okay, here's the rules. You're going to do this, 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 and we're not getting married and we're not having kids. And yeah, you know, we can maintain separate households and we can be exclusive. And here are my terms, and you can take it or you can leave. And yes, I will provide this much for you. But no, I'm not going any further than this. This is the best deal you're going to get from me. If you don't like the deal, you know what? There's the door. So men
Okay, Steve.
always have risk.
Okay,
It's never going to change.
Let's just for a moment imagine I'm a desperate woman, right? Under the current system, the laws are not changed yet. I agree to your terms. Okay, I agree to your terms. I signed that damn paperwork. Okay, I signed that agreement. Then one day, I decided I'm done with you, and I decide to take you to court. Okay, so you give me that commitment, or let's say we have kids, okay, and then I decide to take you to the cleaners, okay, and then all I need to do is to pay maybe a couple $1,000s to a good lawyer to debunk that agreement, to say that, well, I signed it under duress, he forced me to sign it, to falsely accuse you. And then what do you think is going to be the outcome of that?
Okay, how are you going to pay for my lawyer?
Well, if I win, then like the money that I get from, like, you know, it should be enough to cover all of the expenses.
No, my agreement is going to say if you take me to court over anything,
you pay
and you
the lawyer.
lose, you're going to pay my attorney fees.
If I lose, but why are you so confident that I'll lose? If
I'm not confident you're going to lose. I'm just confident. Here's all I'm confident that now your risk of losing will be not $2,000.
Yeah.
It's going to be $20,000. You better damn well be sure you're going to win, because otherwise you're going to be paying me a boatload of money. Meanwhile, I've arranged my finances so you don't have access to them. So first of all, you got to come up with the $2,000. If you're earning that money yourself, fine. But we're splitting the expenses for living expenses. So if you're making less than me, you're putting out more of your percentage than I am. I maintain my money and I have a money squirreled away. So if you come at me, yeah, you're going to hire your attorney. You know what? I'm going to hire a shark, because you know what? I think I'm going to win. And you spend $2,000, I spend 10
Okay,
grand.
Steve. Okay.
And now you
another
are
question.
responsible for my attorney fees if you lose.
Guys, tell
Are
us
you
what
sure
you
you
think
want to
about
take that
it.
bet?
Well, tell us. Okay, let's put it as a poll. What do you think about Steve's agreement and its survival in the current divorce court? I'm just curious what our people who are watching us have to say. Nick, what do you think about it? You've been really quiet there.
Listening, you're talking about a hypothetical situation.
Yeah, I
It
know.
has no legal. This thing has no legal bearing. Could it help? Maybe.
Well,
I
maybe,
don't
but
see
also
it.
keep in mind that he has to hire a lawyer to file that paper first to begin with, to come up with that marriage agreement, right? He has to pay maybe a
No,
couple
you don't.
$1,000.
You could. Probably be advisable.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you still create that agreement, right? You hire
Sure.
a lawyer to come up with that agreement, and then in case something bad happens, like you still lose, like you're going to lose.
What percentage? Think percentage here.
Like, okay, how many divorces are initiated by women, and what's the percentage of custody that goes to the women?
Okay, that's 80 to 90%.
Okay, 80 to
Filed by
90%.
women. Hold on.
I win.
And
80 to
she's going to
90%,
get
I win.
custody. She's going to get 80 to 90%. Okay, of these prenuptials or these relationship agreements, what percentage of those are thrown out if they're constructed by a lawyer who knows what he's doing?
What?
You don't know.
I don't care because I know
I
how
care.
system works.
You know what?
System is
There's
being
no,
designed
I don't know the answer either.
as a
But the
woman,
answer,
I don't think that you will succeed there, Steve, because I will find a way to ruin your life and the system will support me. I know that the court system is on my side. The judges will buy into my bullshit, even though it's bullshit. I will convince them. I will put some tears on display, and then they will assign custody to me. I get the kids, I
Uh-huh.
get the alimony, I
Right.
get the child support.
Absolutely. But there are more prenuptials that work than there are that are thrown out.
If you have to make a prenuptial agreement already, like there is something wrong in the system that like
Yes, the system is all fucked.
exactly.
There is something wrong in the system. And you know what? If I have the power, I'm going to set up everything in my favor.
Okay.
And that's not going to make it a guarantee that I'm going to win, but it's sure as hell going to tip the tables in my direction. And it's going to make it the risk so high on your side that you're going to think
the
twice.
risk is so high on my side. Steve, is the risk worth the reward? I mean, that's all I'm asking. Like you're going through all of these hoops to mitigate the risk, to do all of this damage control. When
it's not all.
Some men are always going to get. Some men will get married no matter what they do. You do. So it's best to help them mitigate the risk. I still think the best option is not to play, though.
Not to play.
Okay,
yeah, I agree with
fine,
you.
but men are going to play. So what the hell are all these hoops? I just said we're going to have an agreement. That's one hoop. And yes, now I've been a single man. I got the money. It's going to cost me a couple grand to get it through an attorney. Yeah, smart idea. Is it guaranteed? No. Does it mitigate my risks by 90%? Does it make it
not by 90%?
Expensive for you to attack me?
It's going to be less than 90%.
Yes.
It's not 90%. It's going to be significantly less than 90%. Women are not desperate yet.
How do you know?
I don't know, but based on the data that we have right now, 90% of custody goes to the woman.
Yes, that's the outcome. I'm talking make it expensive and at an unknown and it's going to cost her that $2,000
Okay,
plus
see,
the 20 grand I'm going to spend.
Okay, she already enters relationship without any skin in the game. How our friend Shah, shout out to this is Shah, likes to say, she already doesn't bring anything. Okay, so she gains. Okay, first, while we were watching the video, I made a few notes here. So during the marriage, a man is taking care of her, he's providing for her, right? She's a well taken care of wife and maybe a mother also. But then if she wants to milk him for more resources, all of the lifestyle that he provided for her, it's down the drain. She doesn't care about it. She can squeeze more money from him. So she files for divorce. She gets alimony and child support.
Right.
She wins in either case. Either she stays married or she files for divorce. There is no, for sure, especially when she enters the relationship and she has no dowry. She doesn't put anything into to keep her obliged to keep her.
Okay, you're muted.
That bonds her.
You don't understand. I'm not assuring male success. It's impossible. I'm just making her battle really expensive. And we know that this works from Kentucky, where it's 50-50 presumption of custody.
Oh, but it's okay.
Women are not filing as much in Kentucky.
Yes, so right, because the law doesn't assign the automatic custody to them. It's something changed in the system there, a small change that happened. And 50-50 custody.
I'm changing the system. You think you're going to prevail? No. I am setting up a legal, I'm setting up an agreement. You sign an agreement and you're looking at this like a woman. Well, gee, yes, you have the agreement, but I got the law and I can go in there and I can just play the victim and you're still going to lose. Maybe.
It's true.
But I am making the risk much higher. And so, you know what? That chances of you taking me to the cleaners just went down dramatically. So now, and if you lose, damn, you're gonna be hurt.
Okay, I really like this one back and forth. Okay, I will give you like more option of doing that in Kentucky, the state of Kentucky, where 50-50 split. Okay, in that case, like, yeah, okay, but the law is not supporting her. It's not paying her automatically to leave the man. The law has changed there. You might be more lucky if you do if you implement that agreement in that state that supports the 50-50 custody, but not where the most custody goes to the mother. You might have more luck here, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, let's figure this out. We're at an impasse here. So let's find out. I'll add it here. Okay. Let's ask AI. The one I use is Copilot. So here's the question. What percentage of prenups are thrown out?
Or do you think that AI that is algorithmically generated is going to give you the honest answer?
Does it matter?
It can. Well, it's, remember, the AI is trying to push a certain narrative, so yeah, it could matter.
Oh, okay. Should I trust? Who should I trust? You?
Well, okay, go ahead and trust the AI.
Or should I trust AI? I didn't say I'm trusting AI. It's information. Okay,
That's
what did
okay.
it come back?
Share it with us. Okay. I'm not taking it
Oh,
personally.
okay. I know. We're
Uh,
having fun.
uh,
We're in a let's say I'll share the screen.
I just remember what my husband said about AI a
Okay,
while ago.
you know
so-
what? I'm not trusting AI. I'm just
Okay.
gaining information.
Okay, go for it. Interesting. Roughly 40 to 50% of prenuptial agreements are invalidated or thrown out in court. That's a lot.
But
Okay.
you're still
Yep.
better off having one.
Okay. Depending on circumstances and state laws. Okay. Why? Why do so many prenups fail? Lack of voluntariness. One party is pressured or coerced into signing.
Ah, see?
Okay.
Keep going.
Improper disclosure. If assets or debts weren't fully disclosed at the time of signing. That's both parties. Unconscionability. If the terms are extremely unfair or
Yes.
one-sided.
Feminist.
Yeah, but they
Procedure.
will say that that agreement that Steve proposes, that marriage agreement, is one-sided because it will appear to them as if it only benefits
No.
the man.
You know what?
Maybe.
If I file against you and I lose, I have to pay your legal expenses. Okay. Same on both sides.
Mm.
So you can't, you know what? I'm going to make sure this thing is so damn fair. Procedural issues, missing the signatures. Okay, go to an attorney, get the procedures done right. Changes over time. Okay, that's out of my control.
Courts may find the circumstances have shifted so much that the prenup is no longer reasonable. See, this is where women can really persuade. And then what else is in the favor of women?
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
Well, what are the words in there? Courts may. It means they might not.
Right.
And they're no longer reasonable. That doesn't mean just because a woman says, I don't like it anymore, doesn't mean she's going to succeed.
She will certainly try.
Okay, a survey by the American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers found that prenups are invalidated a little less than 50% of the time. Okay, now are these, okay, did the man go through an attorney to deal with all these issues and make an airtight or, a very valid one?
Also recommend the other party to have their own independent attorney.
Okay, you jump through the hoops at the beginning. Okay, this easily says 50% are 40 to 50%. So less than half are invalidated. Now, if you go through a good attorney, you're going to lower this even further. So you are mitigating your risk.
Okay.
And when a man mitigates his risk, does that risk go away or does it go someplace else?
Okay, Steve.
No, answer this question. Where does the risk go when a man mitigates his risk?
Well, he reduces the risk of that. I'm not arguing.
Well, wait, no. Where does the risk go? Nick, where does the risk go?
I don't know.
It goes on her side. His risk goes down.
No, I don't think it goes. No, I don't think it goes on her side because our system is designed to destroy men, not women.
No, this makes no sense.
34 to 7. Go Texas Tech.
If his risk of being decimated in a divorce is reduced, her risk of not profiting from the divorce increases. She can't profit while he doesn't.
It doesn't. Okay, Steve, it doesn't. It only matters if the custody is at least 50-50 or the custody goes to the man you know, but it doesn't
Okay.
it doesn't apply. I don't think it applies as much as you think, like in terms of like risk of, okay, mitigation here or there. It's irrelevant if the law says that the automatic custody for kids goes to the mother. None of that matters.
That the law doesn't say that.
But it's the case law. It's what's practiced.
Okay.
Okay,
So
it's
in,
based
in my
on
agreement, it's going to be that custody, if we have kids, custody is presumed to be 50-50. Unless one of the parties is convicted of a felony related to children.
Steve, you're trying to hold women accountable without. I understand.
I'm not holding women accountable. I'm
well,
just setting a level playing field. The
Okay.
woman abides by this. I abide by this. Where's the discrimination?
You are trying to still apply some kind of standard, rational standard on women when none is applied externally on them by our system.
Without the prenup. You know what? You do have to admit that with this prenup that is properly done, a woman cannot be certain of the outcome as she would be if there was no prenup. The judge needs a reason to throw out the prenup.
Well, okay. In either case, it's not actually solving the problem. It's still operating under the current system because you're playing into the current system. You're just mitigating your risks.
Sure. And the current system is not going to change before people's behavior changes. All I said was the first thing that's going to happen is women are going to be destitute and willing to agree to anything. Now set up an agreement. If you're going to get involved, set up an absolutely fair agreement.
It
In fact,
wouldn't.
set up an agreement that benefits her. So she cannot ever claim that it is one-sided because no, she got more benefit out of this agreement than I did in case a party walked out. So a man has to mitigate his risk, and there's things a smart man can do. And going to see, you know, most men are not going to be smart enough to do this, except for one thing. Go see a really smart attorney and spend a couple grand on getting this done.
Well, it only makes sense to men who, you know, who can afford attorney fees and this mitigation.
Every man,
Get it? Smart man.
Smart man.
every man can afford this.
And they assuming they want to deal with this.
Okay, every man can afford this. Would you agree or disagree?
I don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Does every man have a car? Do single men spend a lot of fucking money on their cars? Some of them. Yes. Oh, he needs new tires. Oh, he needs to modify the engine. Oh, he needs new tires. Oh, he's going to get some new shiny rims.
Mm-hmm.
$2,000? My God, man.
Okay, fine.
Come on. You're
afford it.
living
The
without a
question-
woman,
Okay,
and
the
you
question
don't have $2,000 in disposable cash
Okay,
to drop
fine,
like
Steve.
that.
The question.
You got a problem.
Okay, Steve. The question is whether it's not whether men can afford it or not, whether the men want to do it or not. If they don't see value in it, it's like why to even bother? Why to waste that couple
And
of grand
don't do it.
on this? Then
I'm just advising smart men. If you're
But
gonna be a dumb
no,
shit,
no,
well then don't
you know
do
what,
it.
Steve? Those men who don't want to deal with women, they are not dumb shit. They might be even smarter than the ones who want to deal with women.
I didn't say that. You're now conflating things. For the man who wants to deal with a woman and consider a relationship, you should be a smart man. Or you could be a smart man and not do that. But if you go in and just blindly trust the woman or the system, now you're a dumb man. So I'd advise not doing that.
But even if you get into these prenuptial agreements or marriage agreements, you still kind of rely on the system to play into your favor a little bit.
No, absolutely not.
Yes, you do, because you engage in that activity that they want you to engage. You just you create this mitigating risk mitigating circumstances that will
You're
help
at
you later
war.
on. But
You're at war, so you use every means you can to win.
but you are still relying on the system to some extent.
You are
Well-
relying on the system. Yes. But am I relying on the system to be in my favor? No. I don't want a system that way. I want to
Here's what it
rely
is.
on the system and apply rules so the system has to be absolutely fucking fair and hold whoever's responsible. And if I win, they're going to pay my bills. Am
Oh,
I
good.
assured of this?
Good
No.
luck with that. I would,
Well,
look,
you know what? She can
look,
take the chance.
Conceptually, I do agree with your idea. I think it's a good idea. Like if we were in a different social order, like it might have actually worked, But based
Doesn't
on
matter the
based
social order.
on-
I'm telling
based
you,
on-
the
based-
societal changes will happen. This will happen first. You don't like my solution? Fine, don't do it. I don't give a shit. If you're inclined to take up a woman, accept a woman in her desperation and say, yeah, okay, this could work. Well, then you have the power. You fucking better use the power in a most even-handed, legal way to get an agreement in place. And by God, hire a good attorney to do it.
yeah.
And then you're mitigating your risk. You're not eliminating your risk.
Mhm.
You are mitigating it. And when you mitigate your risk,
Okay.
that risk goes on her.
Okay.
You're changing.
I understand.
Okay, the playing field is tipped this way. You're just moving it to more like that.
Yeah, I understand what you're trying to do there, but we have to wait until women get more desperate. They're not desperate yet.
They're getting close.
I know, but not yet, gentlemen. Not yet. Make them squirm, and yeah, they need to get more desperate. Because
Make your own informed decision, gentlemen.
yeah,
Well, I
it's
hope
not, we are not in crisis yet. So yeah,
I hope our audience enjoyed the spirited debate between Elena and I.
yes.
It was fun. We're still friends.
We're still
It was
friends.
not personal.
Yeah. No. We don't. Yeah, we never take it personally, guys. Yeah, not here. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Remember to watch the previous live stream that the Resurgence of Sanity guys did. What was it called? I forgot the name for it.
Trad
Oh,
Con.
the TradCon, right? How could I forget that? Yes.
The
TradCon.
TradCon.
Yes, please go watch that live stream, and then check the Anita Moket series to support that, and give you more ideas of how women are gaslighting and manipulating you. And yeah, join us for other interesting discussions here. What do you have on Wednesday?
I don't know.
You don't know yet?
Don't know exactly. I think it was going to be kind of a smorgasbord. A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Oh, okay. So it's the guys in the chat could comment, and you could have some interaction.
Yeah,
with the
it's going to
guys.
be a free for all.
Free for all. Okay.
We're going to have a cage match. Plutarch,
Yeah.
Nick, Steve in the cage match.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I'm always excited about your live streams. I try to rewatch them the next day usually. So yeah, go subscribe to the Resurgence of Sanity YouTube channel and join us for these deep dive conversations on Saturdays at 9:15 a.m. Pacific. The Resurgence guys are running their shows on Wednesdays at 5:45 p.m. Pacific. And then join us for regular workouts from Mondays to Fridays in the mornings. And then in the evening, join us for my music practice. Okay, I started playing the violin also during the live stream. It doesn't sound good yet, but I'm getting there. Oh, there were a couple of questions actually from our guys here. Okay, from David Velasquez, when AI replaces the workforce, will the structure of society stand? Projected 48% in 10 years.
It's not
My
going to work out
husband,
that way.
yeah, my husband doesn't think that AI will replace the workforce.
AI is overrated. It's going
Yeah.
to have impact.
Mm-hmm.
The structure of society will change somewhat due to AI, somewhat due to economic circumstances, a lot due to the upcoming recession, geopolitical things. Hey, the structure of society is always going to change.
Mm-hmm.
But AI is not the biggest worry because you know what? AI is thermodynamically impossible. Takes too damn much energy. And if you've used AI, it comes up with wacky results. You use AI for information gathering, it tells you things you know damn well are not true. Okay, guess what fuels my brain? What? 1,500 calories of food. Guess what fuels an AI equivalent of my brain or any brain? Well, you know what? The number of the information and all that shit, it's megawatts, maybe even gigawatts. The capacity of the human brain to understand and solve problems is immense. No, I mean AI has more facts available, but a lot of times it puts them together in goofy ways and it has hallucinations. And you cannot trust the outcome of AI. So you need humans to check it. So
Yeah.
it's not going to replace humans, and it's much less thermodynamically efficient than a human being, because I can process cold food, 2,000 calories. AI requires uranium, tons of coal, acres of solar panels, multiple wind towers. The fuel for AI is way more expensive than just giving me a steak.
Yeah. Yeah. There is another question here. Should someone be married before having wealth?
No. I mean, get married when you're going to get married. Have wealth when you have wealth. You're better off having enough wealth before marriage so you have some assets to protect. If all your wealth is created after marriage, then it's a marital asset. And arguably, she's entitled to half of the wealth that's created after the marriage. I don't see any way around that. So, no, get married when you're going to get married. But you know what? Every bit of wealth that's created after you get married, in the event of a divorce, she's entitled to half of that.
Yeah, in that case, the prenuptial agreements actually make sense. But
In that case, the prenuptial agreement is immaterial. If you sign a prenuptial agreement that does not give her half of the wealth created within the marriage by her and you, in the event of divorce, it's an unequal agreement. Just don't game that. Half of the marital wealth, what you save, half of that is going to go to her. Don't try and manipulate that because then it's an unequal agreement and it's going to be thrown out and you're fucked. Half of it is hers. Come on. It just is a fact.
Yeah, but if you give her half, then she will want the full. You take them an inch, they take a mile, Steve.
Yeah, that's why you have the damn agreement. And that's a presumption in the court. It's equitable.
All right.
They don't say equal. They say equitable, which presumes a fair sharing. So you're defining what the fair sharing is in the prenuptial, and you're saying, oh, if you give her half, she's going to want 100%. Yeah, fine, whatever she wants. But that doesn't the woman's feelings do not dictate everything in the court.
Yeah, you have very optimistic and idealistic view.
Oh no,
of the
I have
court
realistic.
system, I
I've been
think.
through it twice.
And how did it play out for you?
It was equitable.
So did she get half?
No, she got more than half.
Oh, well, proving my point. QED, Steve.
Proving my point. It was equitable. Now, if we had defined in an agreement prior what equitable was, 50-50, and that I would have withheld any funds, assets that I came in with previous to the marriage and documented them, then the court would have said, oh, shit, we don't have to decide this. It's already agreed upon. And then I would have preserved more of my wealth.
All right, guys, I got stuff to do.
Okay. Okay, guys, we are done here. Remember to please like
Okay.
and subscribe. Interesting show today with a little bit of debate at the end. Take care, everyone. Enjoy your weekend. Okay, join us for more activities. Go subscribe to the Resurgence of Sanity YouTube channel, and we'll see you all next time. Okay, take care, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
But
Oops, 1 second.
We've really got it all, and you couldn't ask for more. So sit right back and watch Elena shave a 3 or 4. elenasbarre, elenasbarre, the best place on the internet, the very best by far.